So a few questions for you, Ari. Number one, so what avenues with Sherpa not being available do y'all recommend folks utilize? I'd like to hit that again. It's just extra important that people know how to enroll Oscar this year. Can we scroll back to that and double click into the opportunities, the avenues that folks have to enroll with Oscar this year?
So right here, so one of the things that we do encourage, obviously we do have an ED system through our Oscar broker portal. So by the way, with Health Sherpa, you can continue. We still will show in the window shopping. You can quote through Health Sherpa. Just at the time of enrollment, you either have to come through the Oscar portal, or you have to go to another third-party platform, or the healthcare.gov. But we do encourage, please try the Oscar broker portal. So in my situation, what I'm recommending is to, if you're using Health Sherpa, obviously do the quoting through Health Sherpa, have a tab open in your computer to go ahead and enroll through your broker portal.
That's what I was hoping you would hit on, Ari. This is what we're recommending to everybody. Have that open tab open. There are a lot of markets around the country today that Oscar will be the price leader. And they also have unique networks around the country that are going to provide access points that competitors may not offer. So price isn't the only leading category here. You also have access points, etc. So when you're enrolling folks, you can quote on Sherpa. Just keep that tab open so you can enroll folks in Oscar. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity. I'm glad that we can double click into this and remind people of that, Ari. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. Marketing materials. What's the best place for folks to access marketing collateral for Oscar?
It's actually on the website, on the resources. You'll be able to download any information that you're looking for through there. So yeah, everything is it's available through the Oscar website. So
right.
hioscar.com.
Awesome. hioscar.com/brokers. Right? Is that still the URL?
Yes, that's that. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. There is a question about is there still a 10 policy threshold before Oscar pays commissions? That's limited by state, isn't it?
Yeah, that's only for the state of Florida and the state of Georgia. Now, nationwide, if you have 25, then it doesn't matter. But that's only in the state of Florida and the state of Georgia.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Well, current Oscar clients auto renew, or do we have to resubmit this year? It should just be an auto renew, shouldn't it?
Yeah, should be auto renew, but you'll have an option to also, if you need to change plans or through your broker portal, you'll have access to that. It should become available November 5th, if not sooner.
So the renewals will become available November 5th. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Everyone pay attention to that. For your Oscar book, the active renewals will become available November 5th. Awesome. Looks like here. Sorry about that. Making sure I think we've hit a good chunk of these. If I don't answer some of the questions here, I want to respect time because we are coming up on 9:30. You can email Ari. Her email is right there, ari@hioscar.com. If we didn't get to some of your questions, feel free to shoot ari@hioscar.com. You can also reach out to me. And for those of you who are not yet appointed with Oscar, please reach out to producer support at 866-590-9771. Again, that's 866-590-9771. You can email support@enrollinsurance.com, contracting@enrollinsurance.com. You can reach out to your sales director. Make sure that you're reaching out to us, and we're going to get you hooked up on Oscar. And Ari, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It has been an honor for me, and I really appreciate you and love to hear from the agents. So please do not hesitate to email me. Have a great day. Thank you. And hey, listen, a very successful OE. My goodness, I can't believe it's almost here. So
yes.
Best wishes.
All right. And if you could hit the stop presenting button, I'm going to go ahead and move it over. Thank you. All right. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and if you guys remember, we are moving over to WellPoint with Mark Capograssi. And Mark, are you on here? I don't know if we can hear you, Mark.
No,
I might have
had to unmute myself.
All right, we can hear you. So now I'm going to stop sharing. You should see the share button over here.
Gotcha. I'm good.
I'm going to go ahead and start sharing. We'll let you know when it shows up. All right. So everybody, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Mark from WellPoint. Mark, the show is yours, good sir.
All right. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. It's good to see you again. So today we're going to talk about some of the competitive analysis and try to answer questions about what we have to offer here at Elements Health. All right, here we go. So first thing I'd like to kind of talk about is Elements Health as a whole, just to kind of make sure people understand how it works here. The company was branded as Anthem back in the day, maybe about three years ago or so, about 3 years or so. But about 2 years ago, they rebranded the company as Elements Health. And I thought this was important to kind of show everybody kind of how that works. So Elements Health is now the parent company, and underneath it, you can see an assortment of different insurance type companies, network companies. Probably the more popular one there is the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, which we do offer ACA plans in 14 states, really 13 because we don't pay commissions in New York, so therefore I don't ever talk about it. We also have ACA plans that we're offering in some new expanded states under the WellPoint brand. And of course, we have our own pharmacy benefit manager, PBM, which is Carelon RX. But overall, these companies here are all underneath the Elements Health umbrella, which again, we are very Fortune 20 company, very financially strong. And we've been in the ACA space since the beginning. So we kind of know what we're doing and know how to manage it, especially for the new WellPoint space. I want people to understand that. I always like to start off with the member experience, because from an agent broker's perspective, we do have those tools there for you. But if you're going to sell and offer a client an Anthem Blue Cross plan or a WellPoint product, it's important to make sure that they go ahead and download the Sydney Health app. This application is going to basically give them access to pretty much everything they're going to need. ID cards, claims, benefits. If they have premium, they can make the payment there. Order the prescriptions. As I mentioned, our PBM, Pharmacy Benefit Manager, is part of our company. So it all ties in this together. But they can also find doctors, find pharmacists, do a virtual care all through this application. And since they have access to the ID cards, that means that they're not going to be calling you and asking you for that stuff, which means you're free to sell more business, market more business. And again, these people, they don't want to call you. They want to be able to have access to it right from their phone. Our digital ID cards are there, and you can also fax and or email it over to the provider. We have almost 16 million registered users on this application, from people that on the Anthem corporate accounts all the way down to the members in the ACA space. So very user-friendly and very much makes the member experience much better for everybody. When it comes to the broker's experience, we do have what we call our broker toolbox or our producer toolbox. That is available at anthem.com or wellpoint.com. Both of them bring you to the same spot. So if you're selling and offering plans, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, and you're also offering WellPoint plans in the Florida, Texas, or Maryland, They're all going to be here in one spot. So there's not going to be a separate portal for WellPoint or a separate portal for Anthem. They're all going to be here in the producer toolbox. If you go in there, you're going to notice there's no real branding out there for that. There's no marketing material. This is a place for you to manage your book of business. We'll have ID cards out there for you. We'll have reports, billing reports, late reports. And I will also say that if you have a book of business with us currently, those renewal reports are already out there. You can go and log into the producer toolbox, click on tools and resources, which is right here above Eric's name on this example. You can download the report, generate the report, download it in Excel, and it's going to give you everything that you want to know about that individual, their address, phone number, what plan they're on, what price they're on today, and where it's looking at going for 2025. So it's all there for you. So make sure that you utilize those tools to make your life a little easier. So these are the 14 Anthem states that we sell in. Starting from the north, you can see Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York, which New York I mentioned does not offer commissions. We don't talk about that. We're right here in Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Georgia, Missouri, Wisconsin, Colorado, Nevada, as well as in California. As I mentioned, there's no marketing material out on the producer toolbox. All your marketing material, your product benefit grids, everything you can imagine when it comes to broker sales material is at AnthemBrokerHub.com. Definitely encourage everybody to write that one down. That's where you'll find everything. Marketing material, as I mentioned, it's both in English and Spanish based on your clientele and their preferred language will be there. There's a QR code if you want to take a screenshot or write down WellPoint Broker Hub. Either one works, but very easy to flow. You can find small group, large group, individual, Medicare, everything's out there for you based on the state you All right, so on a high level, kind of the competitive landscape that we're offering, we'll start with the Anthem state. So in Colorado, you can see how I kind of color coded them based on yellow, green, yellow, red. And this is kind of a real high level. So even though you see California as red, as yellow, it doesn't mean that the whole state is that way. There's going to be areas that you can see that we're actually very strong, but overall in the size of California, I felt like it deserved a yellow. So you can see we're reasonably competitive, but we retain the lowest silver in Orange County and rural north. And I would say that's going to be on the north side of California. And I will tell you, are waiting to get, we're very, very close to being able to provide competitive analysis, competitive data all the way down to the zip code, which I think will help you guys as an agency that you can also trickle down to the agents that really compete in certain areas that we're going to be strong in. Just wanted to let you know that as well. You can see there in Colorado overall, we have a very strong competitive position throughout the most of the state, but really Denver is a huge strong point. We also have the lowest silver in Boulder, Fort Collins, Greenlee. I think that's Greenlee. How do you say that? Anyways, and Pablo. So Colorado should be a pretty good stronghold for anybody that sells in the state of Connecticut. Overall, we're strong, very, very strong, competitively positioned across the entire state. Georgia, we very much improved our position, competitive position when it comes to the new expansion of the new Blue Value network. This is a network that we had in the south part of Georgia, and now it's actually trickling north into the Metro Atlanta market as well as Columbus. These networks we're using in Blue Value is really going to focus on the which is a very strong hospital system in Metro Atlanta, and they also have St. Francis down in Columbus market that are very, very strong, very good hospital systems that will be in there. We're within 5% of the lowest silver in the Metro Atlanta, as well as Savannah, Vidalia, Brunswick, and Lake Cross. Overall, the market is fairly highly competitive. I think one of the things you'll find in the state of Georgia People like the brand. People like our network. Even though we may call it more of a narrow type network, it's usually a little bit wider than I would say than some of our competition. And plus, the Blue brand definitely helps out tremendously. Indiana, we are the low-cost leader in 8 of the 17 rating regions, so that's pretty strong. And we have the second lowest carrier on silver in the other 9. So if we're not the leading silver, we're coming in second. Kentucky, which is another state exchange, we're within 5% of the silver in just parts of Lexington, Louisville, and I should have probably figured out how to say that. Over in Maine, very competitive across all tiers in all areas. Maine is a very kind of a rural state, but we got it covered there. Looking in Missouri, rates are competitive. We're within 5% of the lowest silver. So sometimes, if price is important, we may not necessarily get that one, but overall, if the network and other aspects of it, I think we have a good shot. New Hampshire, just not very competitive at all in New Hampshire this year. Just new carrier come in very, very aggressive. So we'll see what happens for that for the years to come. Nevada, we have a strong position there in Las Vegas, which is where the majority of the population actually resonates right there in Nevada. So that's why I made that one green. Ohio, very strong competitive position in Dayton, but much stronger in the bronze position there in Ohio. You can see the local hospital carrier came in very, very aggressive, but we do have low-cost alternative plans throughout the most of the state, which would assume that would be the bronze type plan. In Wisconsin, very strongly positioned over. We're within 5% of the benchmark silver and 60% of the market. So again, we're right there competing with the other guys in the silver, which means that we should have a 0 bronze in most of these areas. Low cost silver in Madison with the launch of a new priority network. So hopefully that helps give you some highlight. And like I said, I will definitely be sharing some additional detailed information as we get access to it down to the city. So now jumping into the WellPoint states. So as again, we're all under the Elevance Health umbrella in the states of Texas, Florida, and Maryland. We are offering these ACA plans as WellPoint. So as I mentioned before, the marketing material for the Anthem states is at the anthembrokerhood.com, and the marketing material, product grids, network maps, service area maps, marketing material, everything is out at wellpointbrokerhood.com. So definitely want to write that one down if you are offering products in Florida and Texas and Maryland. I think Texas and Florida are usually two large states for most agents out there. So this is a great place to go get some additional marketing material and service area maps. Overall, I think we're coming into these areas for the first time. We've come in, especially in Florida, with a very strong and competitive position. Those main areas are there: that Tampa market, Palm Beach, Lee County, Orange County. I think that's all kind of want to say that's kind of south of the Tampa area. Of course, Tampa's included, but Palm Beach, the Lee County, Orange is all kind of there. So good market share down there. That pretty good network. Maryland, not so strong. It seems like there is a big push for silver and gold plans there, which makes up about 75% of the market. But they do have a really strong reassurance program there in Maryland with that state-based exchange. But we're within 10% of the low-cost silver and 8% of the low-cost gold. So hopefully we show up on the first page of the quoting grid there. If you do sell products there in Maryland, I've never even seen their state-based exchange, so I don't know how many plans show up for that on that first page. But within 10 to 8%, maybe a little bit of a struggle there. Looking into Texas, I think we have some really strong spots that we are pretty competitive. Texas is one of those states that don't they don't allow or don't share competitive data. So it's kind of difficult. But what we've seen so far is that we should be pretty competitive in areas like San Antonio, Fort Worth, Lubbock, as well as the northeast part of Houston. Again, once we get some additional data down to the zip code, definitely, like I said, I'll share that information. Since Florida is a new with the WellPoint states, wanted to kind of show you the service area map. You can see that this is Lee County here, and these areas right here that were pretty strong. We have the fourth hospitals, the Advent, Community Health, and ACA kind of in that central area. Tenet, Tampa General, as well as the Cleveland Clinic, kind of in that South Florida market. So heard some pretty good stuff so far about the network. We're pretty happy with that. And I can tell you that our networking team is continuing to look at adding more hospitals, more providers, both primary care and specialists over the coming months. So things are continuing to evolve there. Looking at Texas, again, these service areas that you saw for Texas as well as in Florida, they are at the WellPoint Broker Hub for you to download or review. But in these areas here, you can kind of see some of the networks that we have in these areas. And I think Jesse kind of told me that Methodist and St. Luke are pretty strong there in the Houston market. In San Antonio, of course, what's that?
Yeah, those are great institutions of care.
Over there in San Antonio, Austin area, of course, is that University Health System. I guess that's in Bexar County. Also in Dallas, looking at Parkland and Tenet, seems like some really strong ones. And Lubbock is the UNC. In El Paso is that Tenet. It's been rebranded as Providence Memorial. But overall, that's kind of what we have. And again, these are not necessarily all the hospitals. There's still going to be adding hospitals in these new markets over time. I think they've already added 2 in either Florida or Texas. I just can't recall it all right now. It's been going crazy, but hopefully that helps out a little bit. That's all I brought. I hope that was enough.
Yeah, it's some really awesome stuff here. And had a few folks asking about the appointment process, and feel free, Mark, to cut in here. But just so y'all know, Agility has access to all of the Elevance products, Anthem Blue Cross, WellPoint. You name it in the portfolio, we got it. So I've gone ahead and input for a few folks. They are separate contracts for the WellPoint and Anthem contract. So make sure you're either reaching out to your sales director, support at enrollinsurance.com, or the 866-590-9771 phone number. Make sure you do get appointed to sell products. And Mark, I really loved how you went market by market on where you guys win. That was super phenomenal. Not sure if anybody else has any questions, if you want to type them into the box here. But Mark, how can folks get a hold of you in the meantime, if they do have questions specific to WellPoint and Elevance and Anthem?
Let me see here. Let me see if I can. Well, you can give me a call. That might be easier. You give me a call at where's my phone number? Yeah. Sorry, it's a work number. So you can give me a call anytime at 470-817-3331. Or you can email me at mark.capagrossi, CAPOGROSSI @elevancehealth.com. One thing that Jesse mentioned, and I will want to also let you guys know that Agility is one of very few partners that was given the WellPoint contract. We went in with a strategy of a select few of our national partners that we've worked with. And of course, you guys here at Agility were one of those. So the only way to get contracted in the WellPoint state is going through one of those partners. And with that said, Agility, I think, has one of the better ones that they give you some additional services. So I'll let you talk about what you guys offer, but there's only a select few of agencies you can work under, with Agility being one of them. So that's great win for you guys as well. And thank you for your
partnership. We appreciate you, Mark. Final question. This is actually a really good one. With marketing materials, how do folks grab marketing collateral from you guys?
It is at the WellPoint Broker Hub or the Anthem Broker Hub. That's so with the branding and the Blue Cross branding and the WellPoint branding, it's there's some very strict guidelines, especially with the Blue Cross Blue Shield. So when you go to, like, say, the producer toolbox, it is not going to have any branding out there at all. You know, it's a place for you as a broker to find and manage the book of business. So if you're looking for branded material, branded marketing material, that's the AnthemBrokerHub.com and or the WellPoint Broker Hub.
Awesome. And I threw Mark's contact information into the Q&A chat. So y'all should have it there. If you don't see it, it should be 470-817-3331 and mark.capograssi@elevancehealth.com. All right.
Yeah. I'm already getting text messages. I'm popular.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to have Aflac coming on here in a couple of minutes, but I'm going to selfishly steal the show here for a quick minute. I want to introduce our marketing miles to folks, which is something we're really, really excited about here at Agility. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Give me a quick second. But as you guys can see here, we're introducing our marketing miles, which is an opportunity for y'all to collect basically dollar for dollar credit with our marketing partner, Luminous Creative. All you have to do, it's incredibly simple, is sell 10 policies a month to collect 250 miles, or sell 20 policies per month to collect 500 miles with Luminous Creative. It's a super easy thing to access. It's a super easy way to get a bunch of marketing collateral. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I'm going to do a little cheat here, and I'm going to present my whole screen and show you how you can access this directly from our website. And it's, again, super easy to access. So if you go to our homepage at enrollinsurance.com, so if you should see here, our homepage here at enrollinsurance.com, you click on our little hamburger on the top right-hand side, and then you go back to the left on our main screen here, you'll see marketing miles. So we'll go to the marketing miles page, and you can see here from the marketing miles page, an opportunity to redeem marketing miles. We track the production on a monthly basis. You can accumulate for up to a year, and we help with everything from brand development, logo design, social media, email marketing, print, direct mail, website design, SEO strategies, and more. It's super awesome. It's your ability to brand yourself and work directly with a professional marketing organization that we have direct relationships with, Luminous Creative. So please make sure that you are taking advantage of this opportunity here to get all of the marketing miles that you can get. Oh, you're still seeing WellPoint and not me? Are you guys, you should be seeing my screen here at this point. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now. And I know we're a few minutes early, but Sherry, are you ready to present from Aflac?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Let me just set up my screen so that we can see everything. This has been a great conversation so far. So glad I was able to tap into it early.
Yeah, me too. This is like a real cool opportunity between when, especially for the ACA, it's not very often that the carriers actually show after prices are released and before selling season. So this is like a real cool opportunity to actually see where folks are going to win in the market. It's really unique. All right.
Oh, awesome.
Sherry from Aflac, you're a star. I will hand the show over to you.
Thank you, and such a great opportunity to share some of our ancillary products with the group. We have a large crowd in here today. So just to give you a little bit of background of what's going on with Aflac and Agility, Aflac and Agility just recently got into a contract where we're able to offer Aflac direct-to-consumer products to the Agility agents. And that's very, very exciting because, again, there's just so many people, so many lives we can touch, and so many different great opportunities to share the Aflac brand and the Aflac products with your members. So today, again, I'm Sherry Patterson. I have been with the Aflac organization for the past 20 years. And in that 20 years, I've worn different hats in the organization, from the worksite side of things, customer service, people leadership, consulting, to now where I work with the strategic partnerships. So again, we did enter into a strategic partnership with the Agility family, apologies. And we have now the option and the ability to share all of the Aflac products on a direct-to-consumer basis. And I'll give you a quick overview of those products. But what we want to talk about mainly today is rounding out your members' portfolio with the dental, vision, and hearing product. And also, I want to touch base on a couple of new sales opportunities and some incentive programs that we have going on this month and throughout the quarter. So most people understand Aflac from its brand. You see the commercials, but a lot of people either don't know what we do or have limited frame of reference on what we do. So a lot of times when I go to conferences and I meet new people, it's always, oh, I've sold this before on the group side or the worksite side. So it's a little bit different on the direct to consumer side. We have a siloed subset of products that we do offer. We have a different platform, and the contracting process is different. So you'll get a new writing number if you've ever had experience with getting licensed with Aflac to sell on the worksite side. The direct to consumer is slightly different, and our Agility team will be able to help you get that contracting through. But most of us know us from some of the awards, heavy in philanthropy. Our cancer center, we donate so much money to the babies there. We actually have a special duck that we send to every child who is in the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And it pretty much allows them to express their feelings and show how they're feeling through the Aflac duck. So it's really, really cool and really, really intuitive. But if you look at the bottom of your screen, you would see a series of the awards that Aflac has received. So why supplemental? Because you think, okay, my major medical, my ACA coverage is going to cover everything. There's little to no out of pocket because we have such a jam up jelly type plan. But there might still be some out of pocket expenses, whether it is copay and deductible, hospital stays, or even prescription drugs. Or think about the things that we don't necessarily talk about or we put on paper. I had to use gas to go to my doctor's appointment. I might have lost a couple of days from work and didn't get paid. It's not a short-term disability policy, but the money that's paid on these products are paid directly to the consumer, and they're able to use that money for groceries, gas, paying for daycare because maybe they had to have their child in daycare because they were sick. So who knows? The uses of the money is endless, but it's there for them when they need it. So the type of products that we offer, the main ones we're going to talk about today are the ancillary products, and most people are more interested in how much premium because how much comp will I receive. So you will talk to your Agility point of contact regarding the compensation. However, with final expense, the average premium is about $1,052 annually. Medicare supplement, of course, that's to vary by state. Then you have your accident, which is about $500 annually. Cancer, $693, critical illness, $740, and dental is $600. And again, these are averages. So depending on the lifestyle, those rates could be lower. Single parent, individual coverage, or if it's a two-parent family and you got the highest level, it might be a little bit higher. So this is just an average. How to sell the products. To access the products, of course, is www.aflac.com, sell Aflac Direct. That will redirect you to our sales portal. In that sales portal, you'll see a list of the products that you are able to sell once you are contracted with Agility. So Medicare Supplement, again, final expense, but the main one that we'll talk about today are the ancillary products. And with those ancillary products, we have accident, cancer, critical illness, dental, and there is an option on our dental insurance for dental, vision, and hearing. So with Medicare Supplement, the only thing that I wanted to share specifically with this one are standard AFGN plans. Right now, we do have a promotion if you are selling over 65 for an incentive program, an incentive, and I believe I put this on the wrong slide. Medicare Supplement incentive plan is $200 for selling the plan in. So just keep that in mind if you're interested in selling the Medicare Supplement. Now, the final expense is $580. This one is good. When I actually had a call from an Agility agent yesterday who was interested in selling some final expense. So there is a promotion going on there as well, where you place 2 policies, $225, and the more policies you place, the more you earn. So those details are on our sales portal. Please keep those in mind as you go through your contracting journey. Also, our Aflac accident policy. This is one of my favorite plans because you don't have to do anything major to take advantage of this particular policy. As a matter of fact, this summer I was the recipient of an Aflac check due to an accidental injury. So the example that you'll see on your screen today is your son is playing in the state championship football game. Congratulations to your baby boy. He gets tackled at the goal line and he breaks his leg. So that could have taken him an ambulance trip to the hospital, accidental treatment, surgery, initial hospitalization. Maybe he had to get into the get hospitalized, hospital confinement, a CAT scan, wheelchair, scooter. All of these things could have happened, and that total benefit of $5,889 would have been sent to the policy owner. And with that, the policy owner is able to use those funds to take care of whatever he or she needs to. In my case, when I fractured my femur, I used it to go shopping. So that was my business because I had my copays and my deductibles covered. But again, it's that extra safety net, filling in the gaps because we know there are additional expenses, and it doesn't have to even be something so severe. If you seek treatment for an accidental injury, such as a slip and fall, I cut myself cooking, anything, as long as you seek treatment, there are benefits. And that accidental treatment, that $120 is one that gets paid out the most often. Now, on our cancer insurance, from the agent's perspective, when you're selling this one, these tend to persist a lot longer than a lot of policies. Why? Because people typically use these because, or they want to get these because they notice that they have a history of family cancer or someone close to them has received a cancer diagnosis. So we want to make sure that we get the coverage, of course, before the critical event happens. However, waiting on that event to happen causes these policies to persist. But the payout on these are amazing, and they happen right on time because we know the amount of money it costs for treatment, chemo, medication, all traveling to different hospitals. Those are all benefits that are outlined in the coverage. And actually with single parent family coverage, one parent family coverage, the rates are absolutely the same as the individual ones. Of course, visits to the physician, those add up. So with this particular scenario, $44,100 could be paid out to your member if they experienced something similar. With critical illness, these are going to be paid out specifically for certain events. So again, with our supplemental policies, it's going to be a indemnity amount. Whatever amount is listed in that policy contract, your administrative guidelines, that's the amount that we're paying out. We're not looking at the bill to determine how much the bill was. Whatever we said we were going to pay for an accidental injury, a fracture, whatever we said we were going to pay for a cancer diagnosis or hospitalization, whatever we said we're going to pay for any of these critical illnesses, that's what the customer will get paid. So again, we're not comparing those bills and reconciling those invoices. We're paying you what we told you that we will pay you for each specific event. So for this particular product, the critical illness, we have heart attack benefits, cardiac arrest, stroke, end-stage renal failure, paralysis, coma. So there's benefits in those policies that will pay for each one of those critical illnesses. So just keep that in mind. A lot of times some customers will think that, okay, I have this, they're going to cover my medical bills because that's the gap. We're going to say exactly what's in that policy to help you cover those bills. And whatever it is, whether it's more or whether it's less, that's what the customer will get. Now, so this is the big one, because with the under 65 open enrollment, if you're selling any ACA, this product pretty much sells itself. Our Aflac Dental Vision, this is the one that rounds out everybody's portfolio of benefits. You're selling the ACA, going through all of the questions, making sure that you get the right product for your client. And now it's time to fill in the big gap. The big gap is the dental insurance. A lot of major medical ACA or Medicare policies do not cover dental. So with our dental, how it works, just like a regular random dental plan, we have a PO, so our customers can go to any dentist of their choice. We have a network of dentists that they can select on our website as well too. And one exciting thing about dental too, if any of the agents sell on the Sunfire platform, we are in our final stages of exposing the Aflac Dental Vision Hearing product to the Sunfire platform. So we're really excited about that. But it does cover you for things like preventative care, basic major care, fillings, crowns, out-of-network coinsurance, same level as in-network. That's what we'll pay out. Annual vision exams, annual hearing exam coverage is available as well too. One thing you would need to know as a sales representative is the basic level dental will not give you the option to sell the vision and hearing, but the second tier and the third tier will. So when you think of different dental events, such as a dental exam, the customer's cost would be $0. The insurance would pay $100. X-ray, your cost would be $0. Root canal, $50 after year 2, and then your deductible will be taken at 50% at that point. And then again, so there's different benefits for this particular product. You're playing charity basketball, and here's where you can kind of upsell these particular products. You're playing basketball and you get elbowed in the mouth. You file your dental claim to get your dental coverage to take care of what's going on with your mouth, but that was also an accidental injury. So it can bleed over. Those claims will get paid, and our claims department is just amazing with service. Well, they'll look at your claim to determine if you do have other policies that apply and other benefits are payable. So that's another good thing, making it easy for the customer and meeting them where they're at. So you send your information in. We're looking to check on every particular product that you may have that can cover you and that you can get paid on. So we're one of those organizations that absolutely look for reasons to pay a claim. So what's exciting too for our ancillary products, we have the promotion going on for the final event, the promotion going on for the plan in of the Medicare supplement product. But for our sales of the ancillary products, critical illness, accident, cancer, and dental, we are paying $20 per app. And on your 5th app, that will double to $40. At 5 apps, that's $120 that will be out form of an Amazon gift card. The Amazon gift card can be used to buy Visa gift cards, buy gifts for Christmas, whatever you would like. But we just wanted to do something to kick up the sales for the month of November. So be on the lookout for that if you do decide to get contracted, if you are contracted to sell the Aflac supplemental products. And how do you get contracted? So you just go to www.enrollinsurance.com/supplemental contracting. And under the carriers, if you click on the AFLAC box, that's going to jumpstart your contracting request. The invitation on our end is very simple. What will happen is the Agility team will send you out a digital invitation. That invitation will just be reviewed and completed by yourself. And once it goes through all the NIPR approvals and background checks, you'll receive a welcome email, and then you're ready to sell AFLAC Supplemental, all of those products, whether it's Medicare Supplement, Final Expense, or the ancillary products that we have, that $20 per application promotion going on for the month of November. So once you do get contracted, we do have a resource site. It's aflac.com/tier 1. And in that resource site, you're able to look up training on the ancillary products. You're also able to pull out some materials, some flyers, agent facing and customer facing. I know we are, this is a work in progress for our training team, and our training team is making sure that our compliance department approves all of the information and material that is out there for you to use. But this is available for the agents once they get contracted, and you'll be able to have a one-stop shop to refer back to different trainings. And of course, you can reach out to your AFLAC point of contacts, your Agility point of contacts, and we'll be happy to send you to the correct direction. So that was all I had today, Jesse. And I'm wondering, do we have any specific questions today?
Let's find out. By the way, you crushed this presentation. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just did a lot in 15 minutes.
You did a lot in 15 minutes.
Thank you.
There's some specific claims questions in here. I think I'd prefer, because you could probably go down a rabbit hole here on how to submit claims. Do you have your contact information on here, Sherry, so folks can send you direct to like for specific claims question, or where should we send folks for claims questions? There's like claims@aflac.com or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Let me drop it into the chat, because we do have a support link that we do use for the claims questions. But for the most part, submitting a claim is super easy. We have a customer service portal. Our customers will, as soon as they receive their welcome packet, their policy contract language after they e-sign the policy, they're able to do everything self-service. So the direct-to-consumer process was made to make it so simple. They can upload all of their claims documents there. And of course, if they need a person touch, we do have a customer service center, and we do have a dedicated inbox to help answer and troubleshoot through some of the issues that might occur during this process. So absolutely, I will drop it into the chat.
Awesome. There's a few folks who asked about, are you captive? No, we work with independent agents, and this is an opportunity to work with AFLAC as an independent agent. So super awesome there. AFLAC supplement plans can get on through employers. This is a direct-to-consumer product that we're talking about here. So for folks with questions around the employer side, that would be a different product line. Here we're talking about a direct-to-consumer option. AFLAC's employer options are great. All right, I want to respect time here. And we have Washington National on deck. So Sherry, if you don't mind clicking the stop share button. Thank you.
Oh, I guess I didn't need my whole email up either.
Well, if you want to,
but I found the inbox.
Awesome. To get appointed to AFLAC, Sherry did a great job in terms of showing it. You can go to enrollinsurance.com/ what was it, Sherry? Supplemental -benefits.
I'll drop it in the chat as well.
All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and get Paloma. Paloma, if you want to go ahead and share your screen here.
Good morning. Yeah, let me see if I can make this work.
Oh, we're going to make this work, friend.
It's always technology that gets me. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right thing.
Yeah, so it's the share button with the arrow pointing to the up and right. We see it.
You see it? Good. Okay, wait, let me
See
see
it.
if it'll click through.
All right, you're ready to
Click
go. I
through?
will hand it off. Everyone,
Okay.
Paloma from Washington National.
Hi, yeah, good morning. Thanks so much for having us. We are so excited to be partnered with Agility. My name is Paloma. I have the honor and pleasure of being with Washington National since 2019. Had a short gap, but I'm back because it's a great place to be. So as I understand it, y'all are experts in selling major medical, including ACA and other plans. But you guys know better than me that there are, depending on the plan, insurance company only pays a percentage of costs. And so your clients are left with a percentage of money that has to be paid out of pocket. It looks like in 2025, the out of pocket for family is going to be $18,400. You guys, that's a lot of money. And not everybody has that kind of money. So what happens? What happens to your clients with this exposure? Of course, with other plans like MedAdvantage, the same thing, up to $13,300 of out-of-pocket maximum that your clients for in-network and out-of-network combined might have. That's a problem. So what's the solution? Supplemental health insurance policies with Washington National. Now, we offer a number of different policies, but today I'm going to give you the highlights of our three most popular, three most sold policies, which are Active Care, Hospital Assure, and Accident Assure. Okay, Active Care. So this is a Social Security is not required to sell this policy, just a TIN or a tax identification number. This is huge for our Spanish-speaking communities, Spanish-speaking populations, Spanish-speaking agents. I'm going to repeat that because it's such a big deal. A Social Security number is not required, just a TIN. Issue ages for active are up to 5 in most states. We do recommend that you read your policies and your brochures so that you know specific to your state. But coverage is guaranteed renewable for life. Benefits will not decrease with older ages and older clients. No MIB, no PHI, no pokes for your clients. Now, there is a prescription check for applicants over 65 when they buy certain riders, but it's painless. It's a painless process to get issued. No family history either. This policy offers lump sum benefits up to $100,000 for three major groups of illnesses, including cancer, heart and stroke, and critical conditions. Now, my favorite thing about this product is that there's potential to pay multiple times over. We have a rider, we have a benefit that pays in the event that a client gets sick and then maybe goes through a remission process and then pays again. It just keeps on giving, and that is my favorite part of this policy. Okay, next up is Hospital Assure. Again, with Hospital Assure, no Social Security number is required, just a TIN. Issue ages up to 69. We have options for those folks that have HSA, but we also have options for those who don't. It is also guaranteed renewable for life, no reduction in benefit or compensation, portable, guaranteed issue underwriting available for the worksite. And it's also available for unions and associations. So you guys who do sell at the worksite, this is an option for you as well. There are lump sum confinement there's a lump sum confinement coverage of up to $5,000 from $1,000 to $5,000, but there are riders available for daily benefits. And of course, the benefits are numerous. Covers normal pregnancy with a 10-month waiting period. That's my favorite part of this policy. If you guys have clients that are maybe young families and plan on having children, I am not a mother, but I know that those bills are hefty. This helps with that. There is a 10-month waiting period, but it's an option for those folks. And there are no tobacco rates. Again, painless process. Up next is Accident Assure. Accident is, or our accident policy. This policy, guys, is super affordable and it's super sellable because an accident can happen to anyone. You don't have to, I could go outside and trip and have an accident. It can happen to anybody. So it's super easy to sell. Also, no social security number required, just a TIN or a tax identification number. Issue ages up to 75. Also guaranteed renewable for life. We have 4 different coverage options. Of course, the higher you go, the little bit more that you pay, but we also have optional riders, 6 for this new policy. The benefits include accidental death and dismemberment, ER visits, ambulance, office visits to your doctor, rehab, and many more. I mean, the list goes on and on. And also specific injury benefits for broken bones and things like that. This one also offers a lump sum benefit for hospital confinement. And what I love about our policies is that you can sell all of them. So even though Active Care, for example, has riders for hospital and things like that, or hospital coverage, I should say, your client can also have a hospital assure policy that pays if they are confined for something related to Active Care. Same with accident. If they are hospitalized because of an accident and they have hospital assure, both will pay. So that's a win-win for them. Okay, one of my other favorite things about Washington National is that we have resources in Spanish and English, including me. I'm a Spanish speaker, so I am available to help you guys, agents that speak Spanish, and to help you with the process with your Spanish-speaking clients. But we have brochures, agent guides, highlight sheets, all in English and Spanish in all of our states. Which is a huge deal. And again, I'm also a resource at Washington National to help you guys. Okay, now this is another huge thing with Washington National. We like to celebrate our agents. Every year we have a celebration in a fun, exciting, tropical place. This year, I should say, celebration for 2024 that happens in 2025 is in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I should have said it normal because I can say it. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. In February, you are all invited and you are all eligible still to earn this trip. There is still plenty of time. These numbers are super small, but don't worry about that. Get out and sell, and you still have time to qualify for this trip to Mexico. Another huge thing that unfortunately I don't have a slide for is our application bonus. So we are partnering ability to offer you guys $50. I will repeat that, $50 per policy from now through the end of the year. So this is, you guys got a whole 2 months of an opportunity to sell, and we're going to pay those bonuses out monthly. So you don't have to wait. At the end of the month, we'll make sure we got all the apps sold and pay you your bonus, $50 per application. I don't know if you heard me. $50 per application bonus available to you guys. Okay, unfortunately, this slide is a little bit old because I'm not on there, but I'm also a resource. We have a team of people that are here to help. You can contact any one of us, including myself, and I'll make sure that Agility has my contact information and you guys can send email or call us. We're here to help you guys. That's all I had. Thanks,
Paloma, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for crushing it. Welcome back to the team. If there's any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I think you did a pretty extensive job for what it's worth here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So I want to take 1 second here and take over the screen, if you guys don't mind, to do another quick Agility announcement here. Want to highlight here just a couple of new carriers that we've brought to market. And then up next, we're going to have Ambetter coming on. So Ambetter is on deck. They're going to be coming on here in a quick second. Before they do, just wanted to show 4 new carriers and just tell you their niche on where you have the opportunity for selling them. So AmeriHealth Caritas isn't new. They've been with us for a year or two now, but they're starting to get a lot of attention. So if you're in Florida, the Carolinas, up in Delaware, and New Jersey, AmeriHealth has some very competitively priced plans. Antidote is new to the exchange so if you're selling in Ohio and or Arizona, make sure you get Antidote. We have WellSense for folks who are selling in New Hampshire. Mark was on earlier and talked about a disruptor who came on recently in New Hampshire, and that's WellSense. And then for folks selling in Virginia, make sure that you are connected with Centara Health. So again, call producer support, call your sales director, make sure that you got these in your back pocket. If you do sell in those states, these are niche opportunities. And for those of you who have heard my lectures on riches in the niches, these are riches in the niches. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. I'm going to hand it off to our good friend Shannon from Ambetter. Shannon traveled the country with us, as a lot of folks did during our kickoff events. And Ambetter's got some pretty cool stuff coming this year, I hear, Shannon. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a brief overview of everything that we have in store. Some quick highlights for a couple of markets that will be really strong in, and then a couple of reminders for you as an agent, what can help incentivize you to sell, and for members and incentives as well. So yes, I'm in Chicago right now, so not traveling around the country, but was very happy to be in a lot of markets with you all. It's nice to be virtual too, so can be from the comfort of Chicago here, but I know we had a lot of great time at some of our kickoff events. So yeah, with that, let me share my screen.
I'll let you know when it pops on. We're up. If you want to go to present mode.
Let me get that up here.
All right.
All right. Get this up. Okay, Jesse, let me know. Is it advancing to the next slide? Can you all see it all right? Yes, no? All right. We will.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Yes, I was muted. Yes, you're good.
Nope. No problem. Just wanted to make sure before I start talking and no one sees anything. All right. So first off, I'm going to start with the reach of Ambetter Health. So our plans are certified as qualified health plans for the health insurance marketplace, and we are in a couple of state-based exchanges as well. So we offer our plans that way. We're proud to be America's #1 marketplace health insurance nationally. So I'll say that one more time. We are the #1 marketplace health insurance plan, which is something we're extremely proud of. Definitely something you can share with members when they're shopping and deciding between carriers. We cover 4.3 million members. I think it's a little bit higher. We're nearing that 5 million mark. And 1 in 7 ACA shoppers chooses Ambetter Health. So you'll see our map there. We'll cover it in a little bit more detail here, but we are in 29 states. What's really nice about our plans is they do offer reciprocity. So members enrolled in our premier network can visit in-network providers in the states that we offer our plans. Want to take a moment to highlight some of the strong partnerships that we have and tools that we offer to you as agents. So first off, our Ambetter Broker Portal, I'll touch on this a little bit later on in the presentation, but this is really designed to help streamline your work. We offer customized sales materials, detailed member information, and we have real-time updates on policies. So we know this is really important during open enrollment. You want to have that information at your fingertips, and our portal is very easy to use and has a lot of helpful information loaded in there. So I'll touch on that later, but a nice tool to highlight. And then beyond some of these tools in our portal, we have our broker sales support team, as well as myself as your account executive with Agility. We're here to help provide more personalized assistance for you and your agents and help strategize and ultimately maximize your success during open enrollment with us. So a nice fact that I like to call out is about 75% of our members now come through brokers. So a few years ago, this is up by about 50% as far as growth. So really, we have you to thank as agents. So we wouldn't really have this growth without you, and it really reflects how essential you are to our business. And we're really committed to helping and support you every step of the way, especially during this next open enrollment season. All right, so what's new for 2025? A couple of updates and changes that we'll have. Previously, you may have been familiar with our bronze, silver, gold, or what we refer to as our core network. We'll now be renaming this as Premier. So plans will continue to be grouped into metal tiers. We're trying to streamline this to make it a little bit easier when you're searching between products in our network. So look out for Premier Network. This will be our core or EPO portfolio that you're previously used to. We have a new Ambetter Health app. So we're really excited about this. This is something we launched in July of this year. So it's available now. Members can download this and use it. As we know, most members are on their phone these days, not going on the desktop as much to log into the member portal. So this makes it really easy for members to access their healthcare information. We're also loading renewal letters. So you should start seeing these now. They'll be available on the broker portal. If you pull up a sample policy, you'll be able to see the renewal letter that is associated to that member. We know that you get a lot of calls from members asking questions about, hey, what's on my renewal letter? Why does it say this? You can now easily access this from the portal and see exactly what your member is seeing. Another new feature is auto pay. So we now have this in all states with us. Members can go ahead and sign up for auto pay through the help of a broker. So you'll be able to do this directly on the policy. So I'll highlight this a little bit later on in the presentation, but you can see exactly where to enroll them in auto pay and have them set up for that. I know this is something that brokers have asked for in the past, so we're really excited to offer it for agents this year. We'll be expanding into Iowa. So this will be a brand new market for us. We have pretty good county coverage. I'll cover this a little bit later. And we do have pretty strong network providers, and we'll be very competitive as far as pricing. And then a new plan we'll be offering in select markets is a diabetic condition specific plan. Now, members don't necessarily have to be diabetic or pre-diabetic to enroll in this plan, but it is designed and more tailored to members with this condition. So it'll be available in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, New Jersey, and Tennessee. All right, and I want to take some time to dive into some of our top markets. So these will be areas of wins for us. I'll highlight some of those counties, but first off, we'll start with Texas. So here's our county coverage. We'll be offering our Premier and our Value portfolio this year. So you'll see in that raspberry pink is the counties that will be offering our Premier plan, and then Premier and Value will be offered in the orange highlighted counties. Here's our provider network highlight. So by all means, this is not all the providers we have a network, but I want to take a moment to highlight some of the top providers that we'll have in certain areas. In the Austin area, we'll have St. David's Healthcare, Ascension. In Dallas-Fort Worth, we'll have Texas Health Resources, Medical City, Baylor Scott & White, Methodist Health System. In Houston, we'll have HCA Houston Healthcare System, Memorial Hermann Health System, Tri-St. Luke's, and St. Joseph's Medical Center. And in San Antonio, we'll be offering Baptist Health System and Methodist Health System. Now, I do want to highlight some areas and some counties that will be price advantage and very competitive in. So some of these areas are going to include Fort Worth, Fort Bend, Montgomery, Houston, Webb County, Jefferson County, Brown County, and Smith County. So if you want to make note of those, I know pricing is now live on healthcare.gov, so you can easily browse through, but those are some target markets for us in Texas, and we have a strong provider network to back that. Also want to highlight some of our network on our value plan. So this is a more narrow network that members can access. And here's some of the provider network highlights that we'll have specific to these areas. So for Dallas-Fort Worth, it'll be Medical City through HCA Healthcare and Dallas Medical Center. In Houston, we'll have HCA Houston Healthcare System, Tri-St. Luke's, and Oak Bend Medical Centers. In San Antonio, we'll have Methodist Hospital through HCA Healthcare System. And in Austin, we'll have St. David's Healthcare through HCA Healthcare. So I'd like to call out, this was a more narrow network in the past, but we've done a lot of work to add more PCP specialists and providers to this network. So you should see an increase on your guide search when you are searching for available providers on our Valley plan specifically. So we've done a lot of work to expand this network, and we're continuing to add to it. So please reference our guide search for any updates throughout open enrollment. A lot of that should be loaded to our guide search as of today. All right, let's move on to Florida. Here's our county coverage. We're almost statewide, not quite yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. One expansion is Martin County. So you'll see that's highlighted in blue on the map to the right-hand side. We'll also be offering our Valley plan as well as our Premier portfolio. So again, in our raspberry pink, you'll see our Premier counties that will be offering this plan. And then in orange, where we'll be offering both Premier and Value. Here's some network highlights specific to Florida. So in Broward, we'll have Broward Health Memorial Hospital. In Hillsborough, we'll have Tampa General Hospital. In Orlando, we'll have multiple locations for Orlando Health. Jacksonville, we'll have U of L Health. And in Palm Beach, we'll have JFK Medical Center, St. Mary's Medical Center. And in Miami-Dade, we'll have Jackson Health System and Memorial Regional Hospital. Now, these are just to highlight a few. Again, we have a lot of other providers in network that you can easily access from our guide search. Now, specific to Florida, some areas that will be very competitive in. I'll list off a few counties here. First off will be Orange County, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Duval, Lee, Sarasota, Polk, and Lake. So again, just to mention a few, those are some of the areas that will be very competitive as far as pricing, and we have a very strong network to back those areas where we'll be competitive. All right, moving right along to Georgia. Again, we're almost statewide for this state, but not quite yet. No changes to this network as far as last year. We'll have the same almost statewide coverage as far as counties go. Going to briefly highlight some of the networks that we have available in Georgia. So in Fulton County, we'll have Grady Health System, Northside, Piedmont, Wellstar, and Emory. In Gwinnett, we'll also have Northside Hospital, Emory Johns Creek Hospital, Gwinnett Clinics, and Wellstar North Fulton Hospital. We'll also be offering a select product, which is similar to our Valley product in Florida and Georgia. So this will be a more narrow network available for members. So we'll have Wellstar Select, Piedmont Select, St. Joseph's Candler Select, and Gwinnett Clinic will be a brand new offering for our select portfolio. So this will be available in Gwinnett County, and it will be specific to Gwinnett Clinic. Some areas of win for Georgia. So these are some counties that will be priced competitively. I'll start off first with Atlanta, Cobb County, Fulton County, Gwinnett County, Savannah, Richmond, Clark, and DeKalb. So just to highlight a few areas, those will be some very competitive markets for us. And again, a really strong representation throughout the state as far as county coverage, as well as our network. All right, moving along to our footprint here. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll be expanding into Iowa for 2025, which we're really excited about. We'll also be exiting New Mexico. So it's an important call out. We'll no longer be offering our plans there for 2025. I'd also like to speak to some other areas that we'll have some wins in. So starting off first with Illinois. If you have any reach into Illinois, we just recently added Advocate Hospital in Chicago or the Cook County area, and will be very competitive as far as price point. So that's an exciting new area for us to be expanding into with Advocate. So if you do sell into Illinois or have reached there, we'll be adding this hospital system and be very competitive as far as pricing. Michigan is another market that will be priced competitively in a few of our counties. In Kalamazoo specifically, we're adding Wargus Hospital, and we'll have a very strong price advantage in that area as well. One other area to highlight is Iowa. So I know I touched on this earlier, our new expansion. Throughout the state will be very competitive. And a few network highlights, we'll have Mercy One, Southeast Iowa Regional Medical Center, and Montgomery Memorial. So if you'd like to add this on to your appointment with us or have any questions about Iowa, please feel free to reach out. I'll have my contact information at the end of the presentation, but will be a really strong market for us where we'll come in very competitively. I'm now going to highlight some of the offerings that we have to you as an agent through your Ambetter broker portal. So this is super easy to use. We're hopeful that a lot of agents are familiar with this if they are appointed with us, but I'll break down a few key points here that you can easily access from your portal. So when logging in, we'll show you all your active members. We highlight delinquencies as well as unpaid binder payments. We also offer resources. So we have access to training and marketing materials. If you're looking for a presentation similar to the one I'm giving today, we'll have a recorded version underneath that resource tab. We all know members may call in with questions specific to their policies, so we make it very easy for you to be able to pull this up, answer any questions they may have, and view it from your own broker portal. So I'll break down a few bits of information here specific to the policy. So we highlight dependents that are on the plan, their premium, tax credit, and member responsibility. We show their plan name, and you also have the option to order ID cards for the member, which is really nice. Now you'll see to the far right-hand side there is our new auto pay feature. So this is where you'll be easily able to help enroll a member in auto pay. Again, this will be found on the policy information and enroll in auto pay. A good segue into my next slide here is our My Health Pays. So I'll quickly highlight on the policy information here. We do load the My Health Pays account credit that they have. So for example, it's pretty small on the screen here, but this member has 62 My Health Pays rewards or dollars loaded to their account. So this is helpful to see whether a member is enrolled in this program or if they have a certain amount that's been added to their account. This will roll over into the following year as well. So if the member is a renewal, they'll have this My Health Pays credited, be rolled over into their next year's account. All right, so My Health Pays, what is it? Let's get into it. Our My Health Pays program is unique to Ambetter. Members can earn up to $500 in rewards. So they can do this by completing key health activities. These include onboarding surveys, wellness exams, and screening for conditions like diabetes or cancers. So this program not only incentivizes better health, but it also helps provide tangible rewards that can be applied towards medical bills, which ultimately we're hoping makes healthcare more affordable while encouraging proactive health management for all members. So it's really easy for the members to earn rewards on this program. They'll complete some of these onboarding surveys or wellness exams and then use these points to either shop on our online reward stores, or what most members use it towards is to convert the dollars or points into dollars to pay premiums and other healthcare related costs. So there's a sample of My Health Pays rewards card that they'll receive once they get enrolled. Again, members can earn up to $500. So it's free money on the table. All of your members should know about this program. If they are enrolled in us, can use it towards healthcare related costs, premiums, doctor copays, or anything related. Excited to announce our new mobile app. I touched on this at the beginning of the presentation, but we've just launched this in July of this year. So this will be a really easy and secure way for members to access their health plan information directly from their phone. So it's available for iPhone and Android today in the App Store. All members can download this. It will mirror what's on their member portal. So if they already have a member login, they can easily access this through the member health app here as well. A couple of call outs, they can download their ID card directly from the app. They can look at their plan information as well as billing information, can also enroll in auto pay. I know of a lot of agents asking about selecting a PCP for members if they're on our value plan. So this is a really easy way for members to download, access their information, look for a PCP through our guide search, and then select a new PCP right from the application. So my recommendation to all agents when enrolling or renewing a member is to mention this new app that they can easily download, and then make sure all members are enrolled in My Health Pays. So that way they're not leaving that $500 on the table. All right, that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you all so much. Big shout out to Agility for letting us join today. We're really excited for a very, very strong year. I have my contact information up there, so I'll leave it up. If anyone has any questions in the Q&A, I'm happy to help address them now.
Yeah, we actually do have a couple of questions here. The first is, does the value plan require virtual PCP first? I imagine that means prior to seeing a specialist or even seeing a PCP. Do you mind leaning into that a little bit?
Yeah, so we are actually doing away with our virtual access plan, which I think may have been the question. So previously, on the virtual access plan, they did need to assign with a virtual PCP. Now on the value plan, they do need to select a PCP and then get a referral to an in-network provider, whether that be a specialist or other care. So yes, part of that question is correct. They do need to assign and establish a PCP on the value plan, but it does not need to be virtual.
Okay, awesome. This is a very niche question. I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, but is any Ambetter going to have the Watson Clinic in Polk County, Florida?
Great question. I do not know, but
I
we
was about to
could
say,
take a look on our guide search. It would be updated if we did have it.
All right, awesome. And then there's a question around auto pay in the member portal. So I'm assuming folks can set up auto pay in the member portal. Can brokers also set up auto pay for their members?
Yes, so this is a new feature that we've just added this year for all states. We had it in a couple of states last year, but it will now be available in all states. So you can do this from the broker portal. So you'll click on the specific policy, and then I can actually go back here on the slide and show you exactly where they can access this.
Yeah, let's do that. This is pretty cool.
So right here, they can go ahead and roll an auto pay for the member.
That's sick. So the broker has the ability to set up auto pay for the member. You hear this, guys? This is awesome. Holy cow. Very cool. A question around, are all of the plans HMO for next year?
So that's also a niche question, and we could go down a rabbit hole. In some ways, most of our plans are EPO. We do have certain markets, like I know in Florida, technically our premier portfolio or product is registered as an HMO. So there's definitely some nuances to it. If you have specific questions, I would recommend reaching out to me.
Okay, cool. And on the premier plan, do you need to select a PCP? Is it gate kept? Does it require referrals?
Nope, Premier plan, no PCP is required and no referrals are required. So that's a really nice thing about the Premier plan that also kind of goes hand in hand with the reciprocity across the different states. So no referrals needed and no PCP is selected for the Premier portfolio.
That's awesome. This is really cool. All right, cool. Shannon, thank you so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it. And I have something I want to share. So I'm going to selfishly take over the screen here for a quick second and want to talk about a couple of sales opportunities that I'd love to see everybody take advantage of. They always say the idea is not what matters. It's execution is what matters. And part of working with Agility is you have access to nerds. So we talk about the carrier training. We got that here. Multi-language support. We can help folks in Spanish. We can help folks in Vietnamese. We have our marketing miles. So we talked about dedicated marketing support. You have those marketing miles at your fingertips. Contracting is like a breeze. If you don't have your contracts with any of the carriers that we spoke about, and remember, let's go back. We have our new carriers here. Centara, I saw a few shout outs there to the folks who wanted Centara. We have an entire portfolio around the country of with. There are sales ideas that I've seen work in the market. They're a little bit niche, but the people who are doing this are literally crushing it. So opportunity number one is working with housing authorities and working with Section 8 housing. So as folks here may or may not know, a large portion of our target addressable market within the ACA lives in low-income housing. In order to qualify for the vouchers with housing authorities and Section 8, you need to be here legally. There's also a massive education gap when it comes to understanding accessing healthcare in a lot of these communities. There's a lot of legal immigration, a lot of legal immigrants in these communities that are your target addressable market, especially as we've now had the Dreamers, DACA folks are now able to enroll insurance. It's a larger target addressable market. So you as agents have the opportunity to market in these housing authorities. Now you can go direct to the housing authority and work directly with the folks who manage these communities. You can access these through the counties. We've had folks in Texas who have access through the counties, whether it's county judges, et cetera. We've had folks around the country literally just go and knock on these doors. We have people who wrap their buses with Obamacare buses, literally park their buses in these communities and collect enrollments. And this is an amazing opportunity for you. You'll hear me say it over and over again. The riches are in the niches, and it's about execution. I'll give this idea to the hundreds of people that are on this presentation today. I'll bet you $5 right now, 2 to 3 people actually go out and execute on it. I would love to see 15, 20, 30 of you go out and execute on that very strategy right there. That's strategy number one, Section 8 and housing authorities. Strategy number two that I would love to see folks go out and monopolize on today are working with rural hospitals and rural FQHCs. This is why within the rural communities, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, most of these communities would have 1, and maybe our friend at Shannon was one of the people, 2 opportunities for folks to enroll into ACA. It was typically a local Blue and or Ambetter that owned these communities. Today, you're starting to see a little competition come into these rural markets. What hasn't happened yet, though, is brokers have not infiltrated these markets as of today. Brokers have an opportunity to go after rural hospitals for provider marketing in the ACA. I know this is a very Medicare Advantage idea. This is very Medicare, but I promise you, we've literally had an agent work this strategy in a market in Texas. I'm not going to tell you where because I don't want to give it away. They met with the hospital system. The hospital system told them, oh, we have an FQHC down the street that is our largest referrer. The agent went to that FQHC. The FQHC said, we have 500 people, 5,000 people a month coming through these doors, and Medicaid redetermination has murdered us. What that means is they had folks that were covered prior to Medicaid redetermination with Medicaid. When Medicaid redetermination happened, a lot of these folks lost their coverage. So when they were going into the FQHC thinking they had coverage through Medicaid, they found out they didn't. The FQHC and the hospital now have uncompensated care coming through their door that becomes charity care or just care that is not compensated. As a result, they want an agent to come work with them. They're like, oh my gosh, we had a navigator a few years ago. This navigator no longer works with us, and we would love to have an agent. Like, I feel like agents knock on doors, and so often we get the door slammed. You know what? We've had 5 agents knock on the door before you. The benefit of these rural communities is they don't have agents knocking on their door. So you have the opportunity today to go out there and knock on rural facilities, because nobody's knocking on these doors, and start slapping it up like a biscuit. So 2 opportunities to run after today. 1, rural FQHCs. 2, rural hospitals. And I want to hit on one other like interesting opportunity here. Anybody here who works phones, anybody here who buys leads, and anybody here who's looking for an interesting niche, Mark did mention, there's great stuff with Anthem. There's a lot of great stuff with WellPoint. There is also a massive change happening in the state of New Hampshire. The state of New Hampshire, the entire state, which is about 63,000 people on the exchange in New Hampshire. Anthem was the cost leader, is no longer the cost leader. The new low-cost leader in New Hampshire is going to be WellSense this year. So if you're buying leads to and you're looking for a market where you don't have a large niche, New Hampshire is a market that is ripe. And so I literally, 2 days ago, I went to Google Gemini. If you guys are familiar with Google Gemini is the artificial intelligence. It's Google's version of ChatGPT. And I said, if I wanted to get 1,000 lives in New Hampshire at a cost of acquisition for 10,000, so that our cost of acquisition, my whole budget's 10,000, making the cost of acquisition $10. Would it be possible through Google SEO, through targeted online marketing and Facebook advertising to get 1,000 lives in New Hampshire? And I explained the whole thing of Anthem previously having price position and now WellSense having price position. And Google Gemini literally said it would be tough, but it's possible. This is all saying to the machines that run the SEO, the machines that know how this works, are telling us that there is a massive opportunity with being able to get a very low cost of acquisition in a niche market, New Hampshire, that not a lot of brokers are going after, and the entire state is experiencing a change from the low-cost leadership. So those are 3 sales tactics you can take today. Section 8 housing and housing authorities, rural hospitals, rural FQHCs, and working niches such as what's going on with WellSense. Also, we have an extra second here. So what to also show you guys, we've been posting up, let me go ahead and X out of this, our commissions around the country. So if you haven't seen, everyone can still see my screen here. I hope they can. Commissions around the country for 2025 are dropping now. So you'll see what we have here for Aetna. You can go to enrollinsurance.com/ACA commissions. This way, you're going to know what you're getting paid in the market today. So we got Aetna's here, Ambetter's here, very aggressive, pretty awesome. We got AmeriHealth Caritas here, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Antidotes here. We got AvMed posted, Blue Cross Blue Shield Tennessee, Christus, Cigna is posted over here. Let's see here. Oh, I see some questions coming off here. HAP up in Michigan, Molina commissions here. Shout out to our friends Oscar, who are the first ones presenting today. United Healthcare, shout out. They're going to be here in a little bit today. So all of the commissions are now posted. We're all starting to get some bonuses posted as well. So you can go to our bonus tab and start clicking through. Ambetter, I'm surprised Shannon didn't hit on this when she was presenting, but Ambetter does have an agent bonus that they've posted. So shout out Ambetter for their agent bonus here. Make up to $100 per member around the country for your new members. And keep your eyes open, as Agility is going to have specific to Agility bonuses happening all throughout open enrollment. We had these going on last year. They were super awesome, very profitable, and we're going to continue to have these running throughout open enrollment. So keep your eyes open for the Agility bonus here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing right now and see if we've got on here. Hold on real quick. If we've got Kevin on from Emeritus. Kevin, are you on here?
Yep, I am on.
All right, Kevin, if you see there's a share button with like an arrow pointing to the top right.
Absolutely. Yep.
Kevin might have the best hair in the supplemental business. Shout out Kevin right there real quick, bud.
I can't claim it all. I do it because I donate it. So
Hey man, that's even better. That's
perfect.
even
So
better. All right,
when
I'm
I'm
gonna
sharing the
hand it
screen
off.
here,
Kevin, it's yours. The show is yours.
so we can see my screen all good. We see the clear edge.
Ooh, yes, we can see your screen.
Perfect.
You might want to put it in present mode. I don't know if you have that ability unless this is a PDF, but this will
Just a
play.
PDF. Yep.
All right, cool. This will play.
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, I was told to come on here and tell you guys just a little bit about how to sell our life insurance product that has living benefits on a term basis. So when you think of life insurance, most of the time you're thinking a little bit more of a hefty ticket to get those living benefits. That is where this term can step in and give you that option to give that client a little bit less of a premium for a good benefit still when it comes to a living benefit formally. So most of the times people are thinking about terms in the form of, I need to cover a mortgage. I need to cover something that if I were to pass away, I do not want to pass it to my family to give them a financial burden. That is typically what term is thought to be. Now, one thing that people kind of forget and have not realized as of lately, there is a rise in chronic or critical illness that is becoming one of the biggest factors of why people are not able to pay their bills or not able to pay their mortgages. So do you have anything in place that can actually pay for that benefit if your client were to have one of those illnesses happen? This is where we can kind of step in and help you guys. So just to give you guys a good idea here, you guys are one of the first companies that has access to this new product. It was on our new contract that we just released as of last year. And we've been slowly rolling it out, and it just started coming out to agents this year. So you guys have access to this product, and I think there may be a couple other on the captive agency, but you are one of the first on our independent distribution channel that has this. So feel very special. You guys are one of the first ones, so definitely utilize this. But essentially, it is just a term with living benefits that has 18 triggers in total. As we can see here, I'm going to scroll in. We have 15 that are for critical illness. So if you were to have a coronary artery bypass, benign brain tumor, major heart attack, stroke, or a heart valve replacement, those are the top 5 historical payouts. The coronary artery bypass, you can see right here, and the benign brain tumor are unique to Emeritus. So other companies that have living benefits, we know for a fact, do not have these two. As mentioned, they may have some of the other ones, but you can feel confident with Emeritus that you have the top 5 historical critical illness payouts. So that's a very strong story when you're coming to try to sell this product or living benefits as a whole. Because if you don't have the trigger here, it doesn't matter if you have a living benefit because there's no trigger to actually get you that payout. So if I didn't have an illness trigger for stroke, if it was left out, that means if my client had a stroke and I had this policy, it wouldn't pay out because there was no trigger to activate the living benefit. Now we do have the other 2 options here, and that's how it equals 18, is that there's 2 triggers for chronic illness. That essentially means you can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, which is basically the daily livings that you do by yourself. If you can't perform those, then you become chronically ill, and that would put you on our middle level of illness payout, which is chronic. And then our highest form of payout is terminal illness. This one is thought to be by a lot of people in the industry as you take your family on vacation and you set them up financially, which is very, very solid options to use for our terminal illness. But I do want to put a third one out there of a way to use this, is that most health insurance will not cover experimental procedures. And I'm talking as a life insurance guy. And I know that all this lineup is health insurance. So if I'm talking out of term here, please let me know because I want to learn. But to my knowledge, most health companies do not payout benefit with an experimental or invasive procedure maybe that hasn't been tested and true. So that is where this terminal illness can kind of step in and give you that option and that buffer. If your health insurance won't cover it, you can accelerate from your life insurance in the form of a terminal illness and try to get that experimental procedure to maybe create some more longevity in your life rather than 12 months or less to live. So looking forward here, I want to give you guys the convertibility options. This is a little bit newer when it comes to conversions. So we used to have on our old product, it was called FLX before this, and that was fulfilling life to the extreme. We made it a little bit easier for clear edge living benefits. So it used to be your conversion period or age 65, whichever comes first. So now your max age that you can do is 65. So if your client's 64, they only have 1 year of conversion. If they're 68, they do not have any conversion on this product. But if your client's younger than 65, let's just say we have a 40-year-old, they get a 10-year term, your duration that you can convert is 5. And that's where you kind of have to use this table and know it. You're not going to remember these numbers. I don't even remember these numbers because it's a new product. So you just need to make sure whenever you're going through here, it'll tell you on the illustration what your conversion is, and you can convert to any of our products at Emeritus. So we don't put you guys in just a conversion only option. We want to give you the full suite and the full options that we have at Emeritus to really put your client in a good product that fits their needs. And we do have an IUL for accumulation. We have an IUL that is guaranteed on a death benefit. So it gets you to 90 and it's a little bit cheaper than whole life. And then we obviously have our whole life that focuses on accumulation and our whole life that focuses on just getting you a death benefit. So those are typically the 4 options that clients typically use when they're converting over from these products. And then I did want to mention here, for the accelerated living benefit, you can get up to 90%. That 90% is going to be your terminal illness. That's the top percentile. So you can get up to 1.5 million in total benefits. So that means if I have a $4 million policy, the max I can get out of all of my living benefits is going to be 1.5. It's capped there. And that's pretty industry standard when it comes to living benefits. There's typically a cap of 1.5. You may get a company or two that has a 2 million cap, but ours is 1.5 million. And you can break those accelerations into 5 different payments. So let's say I got my 90%. I didn't want it all at once. I want something to pass maybe, a little bit later. If I have 12 months or less to live, I want some to pass on a quarterly basis. I schedule it out there. Or if I want it to pay out 5 different times instead of all at once in a lump sum, I can do that. That's what we offer here at Emeritus. Now, one thing that is nice for us, we have 2 discounts. One is going to be focused on more of your client's aspect, and then one is going to be focused on agents or agency managers that work with us and we view as employees of Emeritus. So the employee discount reduces your premium on your policies by 4%, and there's a commission reduction of about 20%. So just to give you guys a little update there, I had an agent that she got an IUL with us at 45. We took a look at her policy a year later. We looked at the same time, if she would have issued it with that employee discount, she would have lost, I think, $4,000 in target premium, which is a lot for people. I understand that. But by the time she would have retired 20 years down the line, she had an extra $125,000 in her account value. So fair trade-off, if you ask me. It just depends on what policy you get. I typically don't recommend it for terms just because you're going to be sacrificing commission and you likely aren't going to see a big difference over time in the premium. What I would recommend for all agents, though, and their clients is our same payer discount. So that is on our term products and our whole life products. So this one would count. Let's say if me and my spouse were wanting to get a couple policies, as long as we have 2 policies or more, and we're paying from a single bank account, we qualify for the same payer discount, which gives us 50% off of our policy fees. And that would actually allow us to save roughly $5 to $12 a month. But if we both have 30-year terms, as you can see, that's going to build up over time and be hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, in savings just because we checked a box and we paid from one bank account. So something to keep in mind for your clients. And then that's pretty much all we have on the product specifically. I will say we've seen quite a bit of success with agents laddering products with term. So with ours, we don't have a 5-year term, but we do have 5-year increments from 10 all the way to 30. So laddering is nothing new to the industry. If you guys have worked before, it's essentially just saying, okay, let's just say I have a 10-year mortgage at $1 million. And then I have some other assets that I want to protect, and those are going to last for 30 years. Or, I have a college that I need to pay for my kids. They're going to be in that around year 20. So essentially what you would do with our term laddering is you'd get a term for the 10-year on your mortgage for $1 million. And then you would ladder the other term in there with the 20-year for your kids' college fund. You estimate whatever that is. You get death benefit for that. And it's as simple as that. So I'm not talking rocket science here. It's a pretty simple concept. You look at what your client needs to cover, and you try to get it at the cheapest price point that you can with the lowest term available. Instead of buying a 30-year term for, $2.5 million, I split it up and make it a little bit cheaper for my clients. So that's the main one we've seen with this. And then, as I mentioned before, mortgage protection. Most clients think I want the cheapest term available. That is a good thing, absolutely. But you also want to take into effect, am I getting them a broad umbrella of protection? Am I protecting them from the living benefits that may happen if they were to lose their job due to, having some kind of illness? How are they going to make those payments? A death benefit isn't going to pay because they're still living with us. So we need something that takes care of them in case they do not pass away, but they can't pay their bills due to a chronic, or, one of those illnesses. So that's another one that kind of steps in here. And then I do want to mention real quick, just because I always forget this one, you do get access to all of our living benefits on this product, as long as you get table D, as in dog, or better. So you get the full suite then. And then we also want to mention, if you get table E or worse, you have the terminal illness only. So it turns into a regular term that you guys see. And I do want to mention, if anyone here is in California, this is available in California. The only caveat that is there is going to be when you issue the policy. So if your client is 64 or younger, they will have the full living benefits if you issue the policy before that time. If you issue the policy at 65 or older, they will lose the critical illness, which is those 15 triggers right here, but they will still have terminal illness and chronic illness, and that is only in the state of California. Otherwise, very normal, as you guys have all worked with California before, it's just special. They have special restrictions that we got to live by, and that's what ours is for this one.
No shade to California as a loyal Lakers fan over here, but it is a special state to sell insurance. They do make it a little funky. You are very correct, Kevin.
Perfect. Well, that is all I really had. I know I have a couple extra minutes here, but I was kind of just winging it to show you guys kind of what we had.
Well, I think you did a great job. We actually do have an interesting question here. If you're already appointed with dental and vision, is the process to get appointed to sell your life products? I'm assuming they can just call our producer support team, and our producer support team can guide them through that process. Is that right, Kevin?
Correct. Yeah. And it's not an automatic transfer over, but it does make it a lot easier because we can find you in our systems. So you definitely want to go through Agility, and then it's a very easy process, I will say, once we have your info, especially with the dental and vision.
Awesome. And there's a link that I had placed in the chat earlier. I'm going to go ahead and place it in the chat again now. Enrollinsurance.com/supplemental contracting. So make sure that you get there. Another question. So are y'all available in New York, Kevin?
So we do have products available in New York. This product is not. This is the only one. Everything else that we have is.
Everything
other than our
else
SIUL.
is.
Sorry. Our SIUL is not in there as well. So those two. Everything else, though, we're good.
All right. So for you New Yorkers, I'm sorry about your Knicks, but for the New Yorkers, everything else is available there. And then a final question, then I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Bobby Joe at UH1. Did you say the conversion of the Clear Edge to IUL, it runs to age 90? If yes, what happens if the client turns 90 and they are still alive? Will they be paid the entire death benefit?
I guess I don't really understand the question. We do have a renewable side that goes to 95. So it just turns into an ART, an annual renewable term. So every single year up until 95, yeah, if you're paying your premium, you get the death benefit. Now, I would not recommend because you're probably going to start paying more than what the policy is worth, I would say 10 to 15 years in ART rates, because it just starts getting very expensive. So.
Cool. Awesome. And final note, you got a shout out for donating your hair.
Well, thank you.
Super, super cool. As a family member of someone who multiple survivors, dude, very much appreciate that.
Well, it's a very nice thing. This is my third one. So, I'll grow it out again and I'll probably do it every single time. It's just a fun thing for me to say.
That's awesome. All right.
Thanks for having me on, everyone.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bobby Joe from UH1. Bobby Joe, are you with us?
I am. Thank you, Jesse. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I didn't have to explain the share. You're already on it, girl. So I'm going to let you get started.
Sounds great. Thank you. So you obviously could see my screen then?
Yes, ma'am. You're ready to rock.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you, Agility and Jesse, for the opportunity to be here today. I'm very excited to talk about something very important, and that is cross-selling. ACA open enrollment starts Friday, so perfect timing for this. As you know, clients can have some significant out-of-pocket exposure on their ACA plans, especially if they're on a bronze level plan. So United Healthcare Golden Rule has the solution to help fill those gaps in coverages, all while helping them increase their ACA client persistency and increase income. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bobby Joe Massey. I'm the National FMO Account Executive here at United Healthcare. I really just wanted to set the stage real quick and kind of share with you some of the biggest consumer challenges we see in here, and that is out-of-pocket exposures, cost of healthcare itself, and unexpected medical bills such as accidents, critical illnesses, and hospitalizations, medical debt, and unmet insurance needs. So as you all are likely aware by now, right, the 2025 ACA out-of-pocket maximums for an individual is $9,200, while a family is facing $18,400 in out-of-pocket. Obviously, lower metal tiers have higher cost sharing for major events like surgeries, hospitalizations, ERs, and urgent cares, and some ACA plans don't have adult dental and vision. Now, despite the gains in coverage and access to care from ACA, about 3 in every 4 adults say they are somewhat worried or very worried about being able to afford healthcare costs and afford unexpected medical bills. That's 74% of respondents having these worries. Research shows 220 plus billion Americans have a medical debt. Just if we were to focus on over $2,000 in medical debt, we are now looking at 10.6 million Americans, and that number keeps rising each and every day. Research shows 47%, almost half of the brokers, are not asking or discussing other insurances with clients. So the other 49% of brokers that are talking about other insurances past that core medical, you will see 67% of clients, when presented with other insurance options past that core medical, purchased the plan. My point being that the odds are in your favor. We just got to ask. Just ask. 2 out of every 3 clients will buy. Now, United Healthcare has the ancillary suite to help you and your clients. We have 4 ancillary products in 47 states and over 20 ancillary plans to choose from. With so many plans available, you should have your stock probably 3 to 4 go-to plans to focus in on. For example, 1 dental vision hearing, 1 accident, 1 critical illness, 1 hospital indemnity plan. Just find your favorites. And to help you just navigate our portfolio, I've listed our best sellers in that light blue just to focus your efforts there. Now, many ancillary carriers don't have ACA products, so this is another win-win for United Healthcare. We have the ability to cover a client on ACA and ancillary, both with the UHC brand. But don't worry, these are standalone options, so these plans can be sold with any other ACA carrier. One thing I like to point out is all of these 6 product classes have guarantee issue options available. So as you're working with your ACA clients, it makes it very easy to cross-sell. Another thing to point out, Social Security number or ITIN number is not needed for enrollment. Feel free to, take a snap of this screen so that it can help navigate our portfolio and kind of reference back to our best sellers. Just because our portfolio is so robust, it can be overwhelming. So showing you these best sellers to kind of hone in on might be very helpful. Dental and vision obviously lead the way as our top 2 selling ancillary plans. Dental, we have no wait periods on all lines of services, preventive, basic, and major, except for implants. Implants is the only thing with a wait period. Our annual maximums go up to $3,000. Now, in a DVH product, that $3,000 would be just for dental services, not for the vision and hearing. The vision and hearing would be on top of that, so it really helps to stretch your clients' dollars. And the vision in the DVH is true insurance. It's not a discount plan. Now, the standalone vision, we have one plan available, True Vision Insurance, and very unique in the industry. It's both glasses and contacts every single year. No wait period. This is a huge client win-win. When you annualize the premium they pay for the vision, they're going to pay less premium to us than they're going to get in benefits in return. Now, accident, we have a couple different offerings. The Accident Wise 10,000. I've got a couple screens here, so I'm looking back and forth. The Accident Wise 10,000 and the Accident Expense Guard lead the way in that product class. And then the critical illness that you'll see, we have cancer only, heart and stroke only, cancer plus heart and stroke, or the full suite, which is all of that plus ALS, Alzheimer's, loss of 2 of the 6 ADLs, and so much more. These accident and critical illness plans, very, very simple. Cash to the client, regardless of other insurance. As it relates to hospital indemnity, in our guarantee issued suite, the Hospital Guard is our best seller. Now, medically underwritten, we have our Health Protector Guard plan. The Choice would be the best seller alongside of ACA. The Premier is the best seller for those without access to ACA. And then lastly, non-insurance solutions. You'll see our telemedicine options, 3 options available there. The newest being Mental Health Complete, launched this summer, doing extremely well. Now, oftentimes I hear from brokers, their clients don't have enough money for supplemental ancillary products, and I'm here to debunk that theory. As you can see here, when looking at ancillary sales across all of the United Healthcare channels, 1/3 of our sales comes from households making less than $55,000 a year. So even the highly subsidized ACA consumers are seeing value in supplemental ancillary products. You as a broker can maximize lifetime value commission by cross-selling, and you fill the gaps in the client's ACA plan and you make more commissions, right? It's a win-win. You're helping your client, you're helping yourself. This is an ancillary cross-sell economics with blended commission averages and average per member per month premiums. But if we were to solely focus on that far right-hand column where you see average commissions, ACA, if I were to use $25 per member per month, that would equate to $300 a year you would be getting in commissions. Now, if we were to add dental and accident to that ACA plan, for example, you would be bringing in an additional $364 in commissions. That's increasing your income over 121% by just adding 2 ancillary plans to that ACA sale. Our best cross-selling agencies average a 2.6 to 2.8 ancillary plans to each core medical. So 2 ancillary plans to a core medical, absolutely achievable. So as you are providing a solution to your clients, protecting them from out-of-pocket risks, you as a broker are increasing your compensation. Now, I have brokers ask me all the time how they can make more money. Well, here it is, cross-sell. It's not marketing initiatives to get new clients. It's using the same clients you already have, just fill the gaps in their ACA plan. I like to look at it as transferring risk. Transfer it away from your client for their peace of mind and put that burden on United Healthcare. If we were to look at, say, an ACA plan, bronze with $9,200 out of pocket, that's $9,200 risk to your client. That accident-wise plan, $10,000, $1,550 average per month premium. Annualize that to $186 per year. If they use that plan one time in the calendar year for urgent care for an accident, they're going to get a check for $200. The plan already paid for itself. Now, if they use it for ER, it's $1,000 payout. Hospital admission, $10,000 payout. My point being, very, very low cost, very easy to sell this type of product. This illustration really kind of just points out the win-win for the client. I mean, in an accident situation, what would you rather? $9,200 out of pocket or $186 in premium? I wanted to show you one more, and that's just because the critical illness product that we have is even cheaper. So $10,000 for the full suite of critical illness, all of the conditions, it's $169 average premium a year. Again, this would be cancer, heart attack, stroke, ALS, Alzheimer's, and so much more. Again, would the client rather $9,200 out of pocket or $170 a year in premium? Again, I show you these two slides just to show you how inexpensive these ancillary products are. So just to recap, why sell these ancillary plans? 67% of clients will enroll in them when you talk to them about these ancillary options. You can increase your income over 121% by just adding 2 ancillary products. And one thing to share additionally as a sales tip, you can increase your client persistency by over 78% over 2 years by just using EFT. Clients who pay via EFT versus credit cards stay on the books longer. So I highly recommend EFT as your mode of payment. It eliminates them from having a lapsed policy. It extends the time frame for you to receive commissions. So quick sales tip, just ask, right? No ask, no get. Here's some examples, some questions to ask. Would you like to have some cash in the time of a critical illness? Would you like to have, would it be important for you to have cash at the time of an illness or injury where you might be off of work? Would that be beneficial to you? Could they fund a $1,000 unexpected bill? If nothing else, start a conversation, right? Pick one. Who do you have your cancer insurance with? And the client might say, well, my ACA plan covers cancer. And it creates some back and forth where you then start telling them, here's the out-of-pocket that you have on your ACA plan. It brings awareness to the out-of-pocket exposure on ACA, and it potentially leads into the sale of that ancillary product. Lastly, to sell these products, it's important to understand that it's not part of your United Healthcare IFP contract. It's a separate appointment, United Healthcare Golden Rule, otherwise known as United Health One. So if you're not contracted, please reach out to Agility. I know Jesse said he put the link in the chat box to reach out to Agility to get this contract in place today. If you fill out the contract, as soon as you get it, within about 4 business days, you can be active and start selling these products. But for those of you who are contracted with us, since I didn't deep dive product train today, you can access all of the brochures in your broker portal. You can access pre-recorded webinars on all of the training. And one thing I will point out is the easy quote and enroll tool. You as a broker can complete the application from start to finish, quote, fill out the app, enter their payment information, and submit the app for your client. And it should take you no more than 5 to 7 minutes to do so. So for those brokers who say they don't have time, this literally shouldn't take more than 5 to 7 minutes of your time. Quick note, we do have a current bonus program going on through December 31st to provide you extra cash on top of commissions. It's for most of our ancillary products, you'll see they do have to pay primarily with EFT. It's important to point out too that there's a 20 app minimum, but if you are selling 2 ancillary plans to each ACA client, that's just 10 clients, and that will get you to that 20 app minimum. And it goes through December 31st. So take advantage of this opportunity. My biggest thing I just want to say is try and protect your client from that out-of-pocket risk. It'll protect your client better, and it will also put more money in your pocket. So again, I don't forget that how you can make over 121% more in commission by cross-selling. So I want to thank you for your time today. Wish you sales success this open enrollment and beyond. And thank you, Agility, for the opportunity to be here today.
Before you go, Bobby Joe,
Sure.
we got a few questions in here, and want to make sure that we hit them.
Sure.
One, is your product available in Nevada?
Nevada has a few things available, and what I'll do is, Jesse, I'll send you the plan grid if you want to go ahead and forward it back out to these individuals or place it on Agility's website.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's see here. In terms of the recording, we are going to host this recording on our Training Central for those of you who want to access this again. Do they have to buy ACA to buy this? No, these are all standalone products. Isn't that correct, Bobby Joe?
Correct. Standalone.
All right, rock and roll. Well, we do have some more United Healthcare coming. Sonia, do we have you here in the group ready to present?
I'm here, Jesse. Let me just get my screen up here.
All right, let's get your screen up.
All right.
Let you know when we see it.
Are you seeing the slides?
It's coming. Yes, we
Okay, great.
see it. You've present, but I see your slide now.
Awesome. Yes. And I apologize, you guys, for not being on camera. Like many of y'all, I'm out in the field this time of year. So I've actually stepped out of an event and doing this from my car. So just bear with me. Hopefully everything will go smoothly here. But
thank you for doing this, by the
Of course,
way. That's
absolutely.
super awesome.
Oh yeah, no, Agility is an incredibly important partner with us. So appreciate y'all for hosting today. But yes, I'm Sonia Porras. I'm an agency manager with United Healthcare Individual and Family, or ACA plans. So the very plans that Bobby Joe was just mentioning that the United Health One ancillary products pair very well with. That's what I'll be talking about today. And so we do have a footprint of 30 states now. You can see in orange the new states for 2025, which are Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa, and Indiana. If any of y'all happen to be licensed there and you don't already have a contract with United for those states, feel free to get with Agility and they can hook you up for that, or any of the other existing states that we have. The only ones that aren't available for contracting are our legacy states, which are Nevada, New York, and Massachusetts. But all the other ones that you see there that are color-coded are fair game. And with the addition of the 4 new states, we actually have the largest footprint by state in the ACA. We now have 30 states. Our next nearest competitor has 29. So United Healthcare now has the largest footprint of states for ACA. We're very excited about that. Now, here's what y'all want to know. The plan preview came out on Friday for the federal marketplace states, and we know some for the state exchange states as well. So here's markets where you're going to see United Healthcare be competitive in the silver on the ACA. So we've got a couple of markets in Alabama, as well as other states. Maryland is looking particularly good. Baltimore, Maryland, if any of y'all, are set up on that state exchange. And for Texas, we've got Lubbock. We are actually the price leader in bronze, silver, and gold in the Lubbock market for any of y'all that have clients out there, as well as Wichita Falls, Texas. We are the price leader on silver. So if you have, ability to do targeted marketing to grow your business with United Healthcare, these are some really competitive markets for us this year that y'all can focus on. So let's talk about the network real quick. It's always a balance, right, between price and affordability and quality. We all want champagne on a beer budget, but let's face it, we all want the best providers for the lowest premium, but it's a matter of finding that right balance. And oftentimes it's a trade-off, right? We want to keep our plans affordable in a very price-sensitive ACA market, but still have providers for your clients to see. So that means that most of the time we won't have all of the hospital systems in a given market. We'll have 1 or 2 key players that we partner with. And so I want to share with y'all who those are. So here is a QR code. Feel free to scan that. Agility, also has a copy of the slides to share out with you if you want, but feel free to scan that QR code and bookmark that site. Everything on there is already confirmed for 2025, but we are expecting more hospital systems to sign on and be added for 2025 between now and the end of the year. So you may see some new hospital systems pop up on there, but this QR code will take you to the network map for all of our IFP states. And that will show you the hospital systems. And when we have a hospital system, that means that we have also, all of their clinics and their employed physicians as well. And then as far as other doctors, looking for individual doctors or urgent cares or labs, you can use our provider directory in Rally for that. That's that first link. There's also a link to look for the dentist. All of our ACA plans come with children's dental and vision, and some of them come with adult dental and vision as well. So we have the dental and vision directories on there. Just a note, mental and behavioral health is a separate directory. So if you don't see, those providers in the Rally directory, that's because they actually live in a separate directory. So I included that link as well in case you have clients looking for those. And our 2025 prescription formulary drug lists are live through that bottom link. The prescription formulary for 2025 is up and ready to go in case you want to go ahead and check any prescriptions for your clients before it's time to enroll. So let's talk about the plans that we're offering. So we have 5 product families. We have the CMS standard plans that all carriers are required to offer. They are the same benefits from carrier to carrier. So only difference is going to be the network and the price. Then we have our value plans. Those are more like your standard deductible and co-insurance plans a lot of folks are used to. We've got our Advantage plans, not to be confused with Medicare Advantage. These are our ACA Advantage plans. They tend to be a little bit richer benefit and lower deductibles. Then we've got our copay focus. This is actually our #1 seller now. It was just introduced for 2024, but already 34% of our overall ACA members nationally are on a copay focus plan. The reason for that is the predictability and the price transparency. These are plans with $0 medical deductibles. And so, coinsurance is all well and good. And, the client, maybe they're going to pay 20%, and then the insurance takes care of 80%, but 20% of what? A few hundred, a few thousand. There's no way of knowing, on the front end what that bill is going to be. So coinsurance can be a little scary for people. But the purpose of the copay focus plan is it's copays for almost every service, right? If you go to the hospital, you're going to know what copay you pay per day in the hospital. If you need an MRI, you're going to know what that dollar amount's going to be, and so forth. So there are a couple of benefits that still have a coinsurance, like specialty medications, but for the most part, the copay focus is going to have a fixed dollar amount for many of the services that your clients are going to want. In addition to that, like I mentioned, it's a $0 medical deductible, even on the bronze. So there's many markets where we have the only 0 deductible bronze available. So if you have clients that, willing to pay a few dollars more to have a 0 deductible on a bronze instead of a $9,200 deductible or $7,500 or what some of our other competition are offering, the bronze copay focus is an excellent option. And then we will have some products that are available off exchange only. That includes HSA plans. We won't have any on exchange HSA options for 2025, but we will have a bronze, silver, and gold HSA off exchange. We'll also have a bronze essential that will be off exchange only. So for your clients, maybe they have an ICRA, or maybe they're aging out of mom and dad's policy and just, they don't qualify for a subsidy on their own, but, mom and dad's going to buy them a plan, and pay for it, and just to have, bare bones coverage in case something happens. And we have those essential plans off exchange. Some enhancements or, big changes for 2025 or, things that we're continuing because they've been popular. We are going to continue to have the $0 insulin that's mentioned in the middle there. It's not all insulin. It's only the insulin on the formulary. So just be aware of that. But a lot of common ones that your clients probably take, like Humulog, Humulin, Levemir, as long as it's on the formulary, it's going to be $0. We also have $0 diabetes management services like diabetic labs. Sometimes people ask about like Ozempic or Mounjaro. So it doesn't mean that those aren't covered. If they're on the formulary, they might just be a different tier, might be subject to prior auth, but the ones that are $0 are the insulin, right? We are sunsetting our Virtual First plan. So if anybody had a client on Virtual First, they will be crosswalked to another United Healthcare plan, but definitely encourage you reach out to them. Your clients' needs more than the auto mappers do. So just make sure that they're getting the best plan for their needs for next year. And what people liked about the Virtual First plans was the convenience of the telemedicine access. 24/7, you can talk to a doctor from anywhere, from the convenience of your home. Sometimes it's hard to get into an in-person primary care, especially this time of year. A lot of providers are booked out. So just that convenience of the telemedicine. So what we're actually doing is, even though that plan is being sunset, we're making that telemedicine service available to all of our ACA plan members. So they will have that option still. We will have $0 virtual urgent care on most plans. We're lowering the cost of mental health care visits. We've got $8 or less preferred generic medications. We're increasing our member incentive from 100 to 150, so I'll talk more about that. And then the fitness benefit will continue to have $0 digital fitness, and we'll also have a buy-up program option for folks that want a physical gym membership through United. So as I mentioned, the member incentive is going from 100 to 150 for next year, and they can get $100 for the annual checkup with their primary care and $50 for the other account actions, which are to set up their myuhc.com online member portal account. They have to opt in auto pay, text message, and electronic communications. Now, if they don't have a premium, if their premium is $0, they of course don't need to set up auto pay. There's nothing for them to pay, so that step will automatically be checked off for them. And once they earn their reward, they do have to redeem it. So it's not automatic. They have to go in their member portal, make sure everything's checked off, click the redeem button, confirm their address, and then they'll get in the mail, a couple weeks later, a UHC branded Visa debit card that they can use anywhere that Visa is accepted. And the only exceptions to the 150 are in New Jersey and New Mexico. They can only get the $100 for the primary care. They can't get the other 50 due to state regulations. We'll continue to have our Walgreens over-the-counter 20% discount. So this is in the form of a coupon that members receive in their welcome packet. They'll get a 20% discount off of Walgreens brand allergy pills, pain relievers, and so forth, even vitamins and supplements and baby essentials. So it's just a nice little added discount to help with the rising costs these days. So I mentioned we are going to have virtual care available for all of our ACA plan members through Galileo is one service that they would have been used to from the virtual first plans if they were coming off of those. We also have Amwell as an option and Doctor on Demand. Doctor on Demand is the one we use on the group side, on the commercial side. And so they will have that option with ACA as well in case they're coming off of a United Healthcare group plan to ACA. We do have a buy-up option for physical fitness options, so physical gym benefits, I should say. So the digital option will still be included. There's classes available in Spanish. There's all kinds of workout videos that they can access. Fitbit Premium, things that they would normally pay for, right, will be included for $0, the digital fitness. But if they wanted physical gym access, we do have these different tiers. And this is not a commissionable insurance product. This is just for your awareness in case you get clients asking for this. Sometimes it can be a selling point just to, be able to say that they can get a gym membership for multiple gyms as well as their health plan, right? So this program is called One Pass Select. There's different levels. Those prices are per adult per month. Some of them are pretty high, admittedly, but if you think about it, there's people out there paying that much per month for one gym chain. The elite level includes gyms like Orange Theory and Lifetime and, some of the more expensive gyms. But here they can get access to multiple gym chains. They can go to a different gym every day of the week if they want to. They can go while they're traveling. It's a nationwide network. And in addition to the gym membership, they also get an AARP annual membership, complimentary, and a grocery delivery membership for Shipt and Walmart Plus. So it's kind of a nice little bundle of all that they can opt into. Again, completely optional, only if they want it, but that is available. All right, our dental and vision benefits. So all of United Healthcare's ACA plans come with pediatric dental and vision for the children. It's already included. They don't pay any extra for it. If they're enrolling with a child under 19 on the plan, that child has pediatric dental and vision with us. And then we have some plans that have adult dental and vision. So look for the plans with the plus sign. For example, you'll see that we have a value plan and then a value plus. The value plus is the one that has adult dental and vision. So if they want that, you can enroll them all in a bundle, or maybe they're going to choose a plan without adult dental and vision included so that they can get a standalone through United Health One. You have all kinds of options with United. So, but where I really get excited is the children's dental. This is a huge differentiator for United Healthcare because if you guys know, most dental has either waiting periods and or an annual maximum benefit, maybe $1,500 a year that they get to spend, $2,000, $3,000 at the most. But here you see annual benefit maximum, NA. That means that there is no limit to what United Healthcare will pay for the children's dental. And there's no waiting periods. And it also includes orthodontia or braces. So now, caveat with that, they have to be medically necessary braces, can't just be cosmetic. It is subject to prior auth. So, there's hoops to jump through. It's not going to be covered in every situation, but just the fact that that's included in there at all, usually orthodontia is just excluded on your dental plan. So, where it says deductible and coinsurance, that's referring you back to the deductible and coinsurance of the medical plan. So we don't have a separate deductible and coinsurance for dental and vision. It's referring back to the medical plan. But we have several zero deductible medical plans. So if the deductible is zero on the medical side, it's also zero on the dental side as well. Now, adult dental, that one is limited to $1,000 per adult per year, and orthodontia is not covered, but we do have, options that come with adult dental if they just kind of want it all in one package. And then the reason on the vision side that frame benefit is highlighted is we did increase the frame allowance for adults from $130 to $150 for 2025. All right, so that's the dental and vision. Just want to talk real quick about broker resources. We do have some top-notch resources for you guys. Hopefully you're using Jarvis, which is your broker portal. We use Jarvis for both Medicare and ACA. There's all kinds of stuff you can do in there. You can see your book of business, access member ID cards. You can update their primary care. Now you can also download application status reports. If you have your own agency, you can see the agency book of business, see what all your downline agents are writing. We have relocated the toolkit, so the sales marketing materials are now in a new area accessible from the homepage of Jarvis, where you can get all your flyers and Facebook ads and all kinds of resources in English and Spanish to grow your business with United Healthcare. So here's an example of the sales and marketing materials that we do have. There's customizable flyers, postcards, Facebook posts and ads. You can put your information on there to customize it and then have those to use at events or to send out to members. So that's on the front end to get the business. And then we also have book of business touch points, content that you can use throughout the year to stay in touch with your clients and keep top of mind with them for your retention. So there's information on renewing, there's 30, 60, 90-day engagement flyers and so forth. And you can also order, if you've got events and stuff going on through the brand store, you can order tents, promo items, banners, all kinds of stuff. So definitely check out what's available through the sales marketing materials in Jarvis. One enhancement to Jarvis that I wanted to point out is the member escalation. So your members, 90% of the time, if they're having an issue, it can be resolved by member services. So definitely encourage them to call there first. And if they But if they've already done that and they're coming back to you and saying, hey, I tried resolving it through member services and I still need some help, you can still call producer help desk. You can still email producer help desk, but now you have a third option to maybe save you some time. You have the option to submit the escalation directly in Jarvis. So you pull up the member in Jarvis, and right under where you would see their member ID or change the provider, there's a new option, which is submit member escalation form. And you don't even have to put in the member's name and member ID and all that. It'll pull that information in from their profile. It'll pull in your broker information. All you have to do is just type out whatever the issue they're having, and then you can attach any screenshots or supporting documentation that you have. And every few days, you can check back on that option right underneath there where it says member escalation status, and you'll be able to see the case notes until it's resolved. So just another way to be able to support your members. That's a new feature this year. And we also want to talk about our Hispanic initiatives. This is something that is very important to us. And 45% of all new ACA enrollments are coming from the Hispanic market. In addition to that, there's a high population of uninsured among the Hispanic demographic, even more so than, just the overall uninsured. And it's important, when working with the Hispanic market to remember that, it's a communal decision making, right? Health is we, not me. So there's less of an individual focus and more of a family focus and family decision making. So unfortunately, 20% of Hispanics are still uninsured, which is much higher than the average uninsured. But the good news is 3.4 million Latinos enrolled in the marketplace in 2023, even more for 2024, although we're, the year hasn't quite closed out yet. And, this is really where the market is growing. There's really opportunity there. So if you're not already tapped into that, definitely, something to think about. We have a Hispanic initiative, a dedicated team at United Healthcare that works with community partners to kind of raise awareness and, educate in the community. And we'll work with brokers as well to do events, for example, with Hispanic chambers of commerce or school systems or consulates. So there's all kinds of activity going on, and we're really focused on trying to, meet people where they're at and help connect people to coverage that may not already have that or be underinsured as well. And your influence as the broker is huge. Overall, 80% of United Healthcare's ACA enrollments come from a broker. So first of all, thank you. We really appreciate your business. But it's even higher percentage in the Hispanic community. 85% are enrolled through a broker. And then also on the other end of things, they really rely on you as the licensed professional for your advice. And so, if you steer them away from a plan, that can also be a reason to disenroll or to choose differently. So we really appreciate your partnership with United Healthcare, and, hope that, that we are here to support you out in the field. Our ask is please check the box. I know, you're going through applications, you're trying to get through as many as quickly as you can. It is optional, but it is very important to check the preferred language box, whether that's, Spanish or any other language, right? This is how carriers know what we need to do to serve our members. We can't recruit enough Spanish-speaking doctors or Vietnamese-speaking doctors or any language if we don't know, how many of our members speak that language. So it's very important, as well as to be able to provide, other services in that language. So for example, because we know how many Spanish-speaking members we have, we are going to be launching, and we're very excited to launch this year, starting January 1. If they choose Spanish as their preferred language on their application, they will have an end-to-end Spanish-speaking experience with United Healthcare. Member services for them will be in Spanish, their member portal, their app, all of their communications from United Healthcare will be in Spanish. So a lot of work has gone into this to be able to, support people in their preferred language. And when you do need help, we have a dedicated producer help desk for ACA, and you can call them, you can email them, you can chat with them, whatever is easiest for you. They can help you with a lot of day-to-day issues, like if you need help getting into Jarvis, or, if you're not seeing something in Jarvis that you're expecting to see, or what to do about, some contracting questions, commission questions. They can help you with all that. If you have sales questions about a specific state, like maybe you want to know something about Colorado or Florida or any state that United Healthcare offers ACA plans, we do have state-specific contacts. So I'm here in Texas. I mostly handle Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, and all the way north, Lubbock, Amarillo, and Midland, Odessa, all the way north to the Panhandle. We've got Carolyn Hudson as our agency manager for San Antonio, El Paso, and the Rio Grande Valley, for example. We've got Carlos Martinez in Houston. And then you can see on there's contacts for all of our states, as well as for our Hispanic initiative. So if you have questions about a specific state, please reach out to us and we can help you out. And that is all that I had. Thank you so much again, Jesse, for letting me share today. Appreciate y'all for being on.
Thank you for jumping out of an event, jumping into this, and coming on and crushing it. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Sonia, thank you for killing.
Thank you.
And guys, we got a lot going on here. We still have 2 more presenters. I know we're going a little bit over today, but we got value. Jean, are you on from Molina? I believe you're on here right now. You might want to unmute yourself if so. Oh,
yeah,
he's sharing. And Gene, you're on it, dude. All right,
hey.
Welcome to the party.
Hey,
I
can you
I
see my
your
screen?
We see ya. We hear ya.
Put it on.
You're gonna want to move to present mode, and you're good. I'm gonna let you run with it, Gene. Thank you for joining us.
Like I said, my name is Gene Wedgeworth with Molina Healthcare. I'm market manager, and yeah, just happy to spend a few minutes to let you know we've got some new things going on this year, and there's several of these slides that are very busy, but you'll have access to all of them. So anyway, just to get going, you know, the enrollment periods. The only difference is covered California. You all know this goes to January 31st, and then Idaho kind of does its own thing with October through December. Just a little background on Molina. We're up to 5.7 million members across 21 states, and that's all three markets because we're in Medicare, Medicaid, and Marketplace. So we cover all of them, and that's kind of the vision of the plan or the whole company. Okay, now as far as the ACA, you can see our national footprint. We're in 15 states. We actually are expanding in 4 states, so continuing to grow. And we'll just run by those expansion states real quick. Okay, for Florida, you can see a few counties spread out in the most populated areas down south and kind of mid-Florida and up north. I can tell you, we're going to be really good this year in Florida because, number one, we're no longer requiring primary care physicians to give a referral to a specialist. So you can go to self-refer to a specialist. It makes life a whole lot easier for everybody. So great change in Florida. All the areas with the arrows are where we're definitely going to be competitive, especially down in the Miami-Dade area. We get some really good pricing for those. Okay, Kentucky, a little bit more expansion there. We're still growing in Kentucky, and I can tell you as far as an agent bringing value, for some reason, Kentucky just does not have a lot of agencies actively going after the business. So we found that when we moved in a couple of years ago. So could be a nice target for you. I wouldn't say we're going to be the least expensive, but we're going to be in the race. Ohio, one of the big things in Ohio this year is we are adding a bronze plan. So have not previously had one, and it's very competitive. All except for Franklin County, which where Columbus is, they do not allow it, but new for Ohio. And in Texas, North Texas, we're adding 4 counties, kind of the rural areas. For those of you that live up here in North Texas, you know that this DFW area has gotten very, very, very busy. So a lot of folks are moving outward, and that's why we're going after that. And actually, we're more competitive in the new counties than we are in the existing. Down in South Texas, Rio Grande Valley, we've been very competitive the last 2 years. We've added 6 more counties, and the way pricing looks right now, we should be very well in all of them. Okay, and states that we're staying the same that we are, California, we'll say, and you'll see on the next sheet, most of the counties, we are in either the number 1, 2, or 3 spot with the platinum, gold, and silver plans. And just an example, this is very busy. I'm not going to go over everything on here, but very, very busy. But it just highlights all the plans that are available there. And like I said, you can see the counties: San Diego, West Los Angeles, Riverside, Orange County were improved in, but Imperial were the lowest cost also. So really in good shape in most of the areas down in Southern California. Idaho, Idaho's probably not going to be our strongest market this year. I mean, we've got some pockets around Boise that are okay, but you can see we're actually in the highest populated areas, but Idaho is such a spread out state with not a whole lot in between. So we just targeted the certain areas. And you can see though, as far as price increases, we are in a good position there. So, like I said, probably not going to be the best state for us, but not the worst either. And this just lists out all the hospital groups. Like I said, you'll have access to these slides. Illinois, mainly Chicago, Cook County. That's another state that we just don't have a lot of agency activity within the state, or agents going after the business very strong. So we should be good in Cook County and the surrounding counties also, but really the main Cook County, Chicago area and the suburbs are where we're in very good shape. Michigan, we should be in good shape, especially around the Grand Rapids area. We've been competitive the last 2 or 3 years, still going to be competitive this year. I would say we're not going to be the least expensive, but right in the mix of the top competitors. Okay, Mississippi. Mississippi is one state. Mississippi and you'll see New Mexico. They're the 2 states that we are in every county in the state. Mississippi is very competitive this year. We've been somewhat competitive the last couple of years, but this year pricing has come out, and especially in the Jackson and Biloxi area that we're showing here. If you do any kind of business in Mississippi, it's a golden opportunity, and it is one of the other states that we have a bronze plan. I mentioned New Mexico. Like I said, in every county. I would say in all areas, we're going to be in good shape as far as pricing and plans. Like down in Las Cruces, depending on the demographics, you got a zero cost. Turquoise was the state mandated plan, and gold. So another thing about Las Cruces, and I failed to mention this on Texas, but because it's close to El Paso, we allow folks to travel back and forth across state lines to get carried. So really good situation there. Albuquerque, we're going to be, we're gold. We're in like the top 3 or so for the turquoise plan. So still in a really good position, but really all the rural counties are being. Oh, one thing I do want to mention about New Mexico, and those of you that are selling there know this. New Mexico has Be Well New Mexico, the state-based exchange, and all payment goes through them. It's totally different than other states. Premiums, payments, you do have to contract with Be Well New Mexico and with the carriers, Molina included. So it is 2 separate contracting for those. Nevada, we just went into Nevada last year, and to be honest, we're still in a building mode, and really just telling it like it is. Somebody's got to really want a plan for Molina if they're going to get one in Nevada this year. So, and a tough state to get licensed in. If you're not a resident agent, it's really not going to happen. South Carolina, we're in every situation except for one county. Very competitive again this year. Network's great. So you can see we've got complete coverage in the state. So very good situation there too. Utah's another state. St. George down in the bottom left is somewhat competitive. Salt Lake is kind of in the same situation. I wouldn't say this is going to be our best state, but it's not going to be our worst one either. But it's there's places in there where we're still in good situation. And you can see as far as rate increase, we're at basically the bottom of any kind of increase. So pricing has gotten better this year. And just a list of the main hospital systems. Okay, Washington. Washington is going to be kind of a middle of the road state also, but you can see where the arrows are. Those are our best situations as far as network and pricing. It is another state-based exchange, and they have some rules that are mandated that we have to go by that are a little bit different than some of the other states. And you can see we're not the least expensive as far as rate change, but we're towards the bottom end. So should be still very competitive there. And once again, the network at most of the major hospital systems in the major populated areas. So network is good. And just something that the state does, they basically gather information, and depending on the makeup of the individual or family, they try to tailor their health programs towards that. And last but not least, Wisconsin. We've got a really good network where the population is. This year, pricing is not going to be that great. So it would not be a state that I would just really go after. But, we do have a nice population there and our nice membership. So, anyone there, we do tend to get a lot of renewals. So if you have someone there that's already covered, great. But as far as pricing, we're kind of middle of the road. Okay, some of the free benefits used to be My Health Perks, is now Molina Healthy Rewards. And basically, it is a free program for anyone 18 and over that it's a $200 benefit. All they have to do is go in, do a wellness assessment, and then go to their PCP for their annual exam. And up to $200 gift card. Washington is an exception. It's only $100 there. So, and you can see the programs for smoking, blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, depression, just overall healthy lifestyle. And RX Saving Solutions, another free benefit that goes along with it. It's just basically there to help people with their out-of-pocket expenses for prescriptions. And you can see it's on the app. So they'll get all the information on their enrollment packet. They'll get an email, or they can call in the 800 number, but everything's provided to them. And I mentioned the app. Here's the QR code for it. You can scan that, take you right to the app. Go to their e-portal. A lot of different things you can do on there. You can see, find a doctor, pharmacy, facility, look up your plan, your handbook, request an ID card. So just a lot of different options that you can access from the app. Now, something we did this year, we used to have one customer service number for the entire country. We've broken that out by state now. Every state has a dedicated number with folks that are answering the phone that are familiar with that state. Just makes it a whole lot more accessible for the members. And we mentioned payment options. This is not for New Mexico because it goes through the state-based exchange, but we still have auto pay, online bill payment by phone, which is 3 days. They can do the old school mail it in, takes it up to 15 days, and then MoneyGram. One addition that we brought in this year is very check-free pay. You can go in person, make pay, and 30,000 locations in the country, and all you have to do is your bill stub or subscriber ID to make the payment. Same thing as member services. We, for any kind of enrollment and premium, dedicated number per state. So just makes it easier for the members. Now, as far as the free bits, all of our plans have the value basic, which includes 24/7 telehealth through Teledoc. One of the enhancements we did this year is added mental health services. So just a nice free benefit. Of course, no cost preventive prescriptions, screenings, pediatric vision, the RX savings that we talked about, and 24/7 nurse hotline. And of course, the Healthy Rewards program. Now, this is just kind of a cheat sheet. If you want to print this out for yourself, if you're on the phones or anything, it just checks off what plans available in each state. It's broken down by state and by plan. So, like I said, it's just a nice little cheat sheet to have by your side, and it's just easy to glance down depending on what state they're in to see what we've got. And this just breaks down. You'll see on the next couple of slides, bronze, silver, gold, the states that we're in for those plans. Like you can see, Florida, Mississippi, the bronze 4, bronze 9 in Ohio, except for Franklin County, and it's just a nice little way to take a look and see what's available in each state. And same thing for silver. I will say that the silver 1 is kind of a buy-up option, but the silver 12 has become much more popular because the first 4 visits, PCP visits, are free. Doesn't have to be preventive, just the first 4 are free. And of course, the gold plans. And I will say, you know, the gold 1 and silver 1 plans do include adult vision, which I'll touch on here in just a second. And we talked about Teladoc. It's included in all plans with mental health. And I'm sure all you're familiar with Teladoc for all the minor things. You get a licensed physician that they can write prescriptions over the phone if necessary. And I mentioned the vision. It's through VSP. This is for adults. 1 vision exam per calendar year and up to $150 allowance for lenses. Now, one thing we've added this year in Texas is an off-exchange plan. Basically, for those folks that cannot qualify for a subsidy on ACA, they can do an off-exchange plan. The off-exchange plans are very similar, and you'll see on the next couple of pages, very similar to the on-exchange plans, very little difference. But I will say the off-exchange is a little bit less expensive because we don't have to pay the fees to be on the exchange with it. So slightly less expensive for those who cannot qualify for an ACA plan. And just an example that, you know, basically have all the same off-exchange plans that we do on exchange in Texas. And like I said, they pretty much mirror on exchange and off exchange plans. You can see highlighted in red, slight differences, but they're basically the same plans. Yeah, like I said, just another example of the Silver 3. The good thing is with Health Sherpa, you can also do the off exchange plan now. So basically you just do the drop down box, click on off exchange, and they're basically the same enrollment that you have with on exchange. So it just makes it easy. Okay, our provider directory. Here's the QR code for it. We got QR codes for everything now. But yeah, you can do a number of searches for, you know, by city, county, zip code. Look up physicians, facilities, pull up a map that shows everybody in your area. So just really convenient, MolinaMarketplace.com. Now, something we've added also is our Molina Marketing Store, which it's up and running right now. In the next 2 or 3 slides are just showing examples of brochures, but basically you go on there, if you pick out a brochure or a flyer that you like, you can order it. The first 50 copies are free. After that, there's a slight charge, but the first 50 are free this year. So just a little added benefit for you guys. And like I said, just another example. Benefits at a glance are available there also. Every state, we have this in both English and Spanish. So if you work in a specific state, you can pull this up and it'll show all the plans that are available in each state. And state fact sheets, same thing. The difference is on the left, the front page, we highlight the state and kind of the good things that are going on there. And also the nice thing is it's got a complete listing of every county and every hospital for the state. So also available on the marketing store or on your broker portal. For members, if they need to look at anything, formularies, benefits at a glance guides that are available there too, or any kind of forms, all they have to do is MolinaMarketplace.com, go to forms and documents, and everything is there for them or for you. As far as brokers, you guys, the 855 number up at the top. That's the main number to call in. Hours are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday Mountain Time. Of course, you can always go to your Evolve account. And I will tell you, the MP Broker Support email address, these guys are fantastic. I use them on a daily basis. I mean, if I send them something early in the morning, I normally have an answer by the afternoon or within the next day. So they're very good response. And just a readiness checklist. I mean, the one thing I would say, just make sure you have all your certifications. I would go on to the Evolve portal, click on My Credentials and your sales states, and make sure that every state you're licensed in, that you're going to sell in, that you have a certification with us. Because if you're not certified with us, you're right in that state, you won't get paid, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So just a quick checklist to make sure everything's good. And I mentioned the broker portal, Evolve. We now have it on Molina Marketplace, where highlighted here in pink. You can just click on that and it'll take you right to the portal. Just an example, book a business search. You can do it by a number of things: effective date, paid through. If someone's about to terminate, you can pull it up and try to, save the account. One other addition is, if you see on the bottom left, if you need to request an ID card or a PCP change for your member, you can do that now on the portal. Okay, we're just required to put this in, so I'm not going to go through everything here because it's a lot of busy information. Normally doesn't pertain to anybody because all you guys are doing the right thing, so just something to glance at if you want to. Now, commissions. Last but not least, commissions. We are increasing in almost half the states. So just trying to get it better for you guys to where, without you guys, we're not successful. So we want you to get paid, trying to get more competitive in all the markets. And like I said, 7 out of 15 states. So, and Agility's got this on their site already. So. And here's the sales team. This is it. There's basically 7 of us that cover the United States. So yes, we're very busy, but we're very efficient most of the time. But that's all we got. Is there any questions?
Gene, you crushed. You had a lot to go through. Molina has a lot of markets that they're in. And there is a question. Is there a link that we have that will talk about the RX savings plan for Molina?
Once you get set up, you'll have access to it. You'll either have to call in the 800 number or get the email, or it's going to be in your packet. But once you get set up with it, then yes, you do have access to that.
All right, cool.
But you do have to register.
All right, awesome. You can do that through the broker portal. Agents can to get information.
The agents will, like I said, in their enrollment packet, they'll have all the information. Plus, they're going to get an email, and that'll go directly to them. The brokers can't go in their portal and set that up for them.
Oh, the question was, where can agents get information that they can share with their clients?
Just send me an email. I'll get it to them.
Cool. There you go. Email Gene. He's got your back. Awesome. And
all right.
Incredible on the commissions, paying brokers more. Lovely. Who doesn't want to get paid more? I think that's awesome, yeah. Gene. Yeah. Kudos for everybody who lives on commission. We salute you.
Yep. Been battling that for a while and finally came through.
Yes. All right. Well, we have our final presenter coming up. Gene, if you don't mind hitting the stop share button, I'd appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks again, man. And Ross, are you on from Health Sherpa?
Yes. Good morning and good afternoon to folks on the Central and Eastern time zones.
We've been crushing it. We're going on 3.5 hours. People have been on here. Thank you guys for everything. We hope we're bringing a ton of value. And what we're bringing it to Ross to close us out. Ross, tell us about what's going on with Health Sherpa this year. I'm going to hand it over to you. You have your share button and you're ready to rock.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Jesse. Always great to get together with Agility and their agents and brokers, make sure that they're ready for OEP here. Thanks to Gene for the shout out on the Molina OffX integration. We've got more and more OffX carriers coming every day as the ICRA market there starts to really hit its stride. All right. Let's see. Can you see my screen, Jesse?
Yes, we got you. We can see you.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it because I know you're all busy. You're eager to start getting renewals ready, start shopping plans, and getting ready for OEP here. So as what we'll cover today, we'll talk a bit about some of the regulatory changes that have happened over the past 6 months or so. We'll talk about some voluntary product enhancements that the Health Sherpa product and engineering team have made this season. And then we'll get into renewals, some work we're doing there. Talk about Georgia Access. Georgia Access is going to be fully integrated with Health Sherpa. More on that in a bit. But let's start off with the fun stuff, regulatory changes. Most of you will be familiar with all of these. We called it the summer of regulatory change, but there was FFM account integration. They changed FFM account integration to every 12 hours. I think our product team did a really good job of kind of minimizing the disruption to your all's day-to-day. Basically, you should be logging into your Health Sherpa account, integrating your account once, and it's good for the day, except those, times when you're working more than 12 hours. Invalid action we'll cover in a moment. This is the error that, requires a three-way call or a consumer Zoom link to resolve. We did some work around concurrent login blocking, making sure that, only one person accessing Health Sherpa accounts with certain credentials, specifically around FFM credentials, can access that at a time. And then CMS added a voter registration question, because if you haven't heard, it's an election year. And then they also tightened up the Social Security number requirements back on the 6th of this month. And we'll touch a bit on that in a moment here. But the elephant in the room, of course, invalid action. In order to stop rampant unauthorized plan switching in the ACA marketplace, CMS brought down the regulatory hammer and stopped all plan switching in the ACA marketplace, whether authorized or not. So to deal with that, we've had, really one option over the past 2.5 months. It's been the marketplace three-way call with their call center. We've been trying to, work through that, hearing a lot of feedback. I've shared some feedback from CMS with agencies on how to best navigate those calls. I think most people that have had to do them have eventually figured them out and dealt with them. But the good news is that just as we get into OEP, Health Sherpa has an alternative to that three-way call. So we do have a CMS approved, what we call consumer resume link, where agents can send a link to their consumer and they can finalize the application on their end. And just backing up so everyone's clear on what the invalid action error is, anytime there's an active application in the ACA with a specific NPN associated with it or no NPN, and you are trying to update the NPN associated with that application, you're going to run into this invalid action error. It's going to tell you, hey, you have to do a three-way call with the marketplace, or you can send this link to your consumer and have them complete the application on their side. And that includes, plan year to plan year as well. This is the consumer resume link flow. And we've got a couple help articles linked in here. I'll be sending this deck out to the Agility team to distribute to everyone and make available. But this is the consumer resume link flow. So if you have one of these scenarios where you need to take back a client, or you've got a client that's come to you and says, I don't know who my agent is, I don't want to work with them, whatever the case may be, you're going to make any necessary changes to the application. You're going to make any necessary changes to the plan selection first on your end. Then when you try to submit the app, you're going to encounter that invalid action error. And it's hard to see here, but you'll essentially get the ability to send an email directly from this page, or you can copy the resume link from here and send it via custom email or even text. Once you send that link, the consumer is going to receive it. They're going to receive an email from Health Sherpa, click, finish my application. And then they'll be prompted to log in and or create a Health Sherpa consumer account. And these are all really CMS required steps. We worked very closely with their team to make sure that this resume link was a viable option for agents, but also B, met all of their privacy and security stipulations and standards that they brought to the table. So if your consumer, your client, does not have an account, they can click create an account. It's then going to ask them to verify their identity here. They're going to need to put their first and last name, birth date, and phone number exactly as it appears on the application. Then they're going to need to verify their identity with Experian ID proofing. This is the multiple choice credit history questions that they'll need to answer in order to verify their identity. Once they do that, they simply enter an email and password, and they will have their account, and they're going to land on the finalize page of the application, and then click through the final tax attestations and signing and submitting portion of the app. So that's that. I will say, if you have any issues with consumers, being able to verify or get through identity proofing, please provide specific feedback as well as FFM app IDs to our agent support team, so we can work out any kinks here as we get into OEP. All right, and then Social Security number has actually always been required. If folks have one, they've tightened up this requirement a little more. Any applicant must have a Social Security number, except for newborns less than 90 days old. And the healthcare.gov is going to validate this Social Security number on page advance. So if I put in the client social here, I click next, it's going to check that immediately against Social Security Administration between the social, the date of birth, and the person's name, and verify everything looks correct. If for some reason you can't get it to verify, or if the person, even if they have a legal immigration status, if they don't have a social yet, you may have to do a three-way call with the marketplace for now. CMS is working on a solution for those folks with legal immigration statuses, but maybe they don't have a Social Security number yet. They're shooting for the end of December for that solution to be available to EDE partners. All right. So these enhancements, these are things that Health Sherpa has made based on your all's feedback. We do some agent focus groups. We have the feedback button. Let me just show you this right here. This feedback button right in your account please leverage this. You can say how satisfied you are, and then you can enter kind of whatever you want, product ideas, things you like, things you don't like. There's a number of people at Health Sherpa that read this, all the way from myself and other account managers and our support supervisors, all the way up to the VP of engineering and our CEO, George. So definitely leverage that feedback button, and that's what helps shape and ship all of these voluntary enhancements we've made over the past year or so. So this first one is an agent dashboard. This essentially helps you identify, what your action items are. You can make this your homepage if you like. You can see all the things that need to be addressed. I need to make binder payments. I need to upload documents for all these folks. There's news articles. Right now we have certifications linked down here. So kind of like your command center. Again, you can choose to make this your homepage, or you can just keep it as the client page there. Another thing we've been working on, and this is kind of step one, is getting better data from the carriers. So a lot of times, we've got essentially 3 data sources in the ACA. We've got Health Sherpa, which is your sales and enrollments. We've got CMS, which is more around the applications and tax credit eligibility. And then we have the carrier, who's actually about the policy and the coverage and what's in force. So we're now pulling in the carrier policy ID on many applications. It's not going to be there right when you first enroll somebody, obviously, since it's got to go to the carrier. They have to effectuate it and assign a policy ID, and then flow back through Marketplace to Health Sherpa. But this will be useful in identifying policies on the carrier side. We're also adding subscriber and member ID here. We have a few select partners. I know Alliant out of Georgia, I believe AmeriHealth Caritas as well, have actually payment fee data integrations directly with Health Sherpa that give daily updates of policy statuses and real-time updates to their billing and payment status. And our carrier sales team's working on building that portfolio of carriers as well. Another issue we've heard, especially recently this year, with a lot of the unauthorized plan switching going on in the ACA, is agents having trouble figuring out which application they should be working. This comes up especially if a client has interacted with a number of agents. They may have multiple FFM applications for the same plan year, like we see here with Dwayne. And we often heard, well, they've got 3 applications. Which one should I be working? There's actually a specific progressive logic. Basically, anything submitted is first, and then completed would be next. We're working to implement more data on here so you can figure out which one is the best, and use these tooltips to help you identify which application you should update when you run into this scenario. Capturing and managing consent in client review. So this has been something we're still working on. We launched early in 2024. Basically, we have the ability in the Health Sherpa enrollment flow to capture both the required consent documentation as well as the required client review documentation right from the application. So we've got little modules here. You can email digital consent forms to your client. They can sign it. It attaches to the application and stores for the required 10 years. If you ever need it to send to a carrier or whoever, you just look up that client in your Health Sherpa account. Upload is just a storage mechanism, and then you can, if you don't need these tools, you can simply say, I already have proof. We have the same thing with client review towards the end of the application. that's going to help you document all of the answers on the application, the plan that you've chosen with the consumer. Things like income will be on there. So it's really good to kind of protect yourselves as you're working with consumers, making sure that they're on the same page with what you're enrolling them in. And that's documented as part of the client review. And we are working on getting SMS out for both of those. We also have consent and review statuses if you're using those tools now on the agency enrollment export. So if an agency manager wants to make sure everyone is using these tools, they could do that as well. And then here's just a quick reminder about consent and review documentation. I'm going to give you the brief version here. Documenting consent. This is essentially the client giving you some sort of documented permission to work with them, access their information on the marketplace, things along those lines. You have to have all of these bullet points covered in whatever type of documentation you create, whether it's an email or text record, a signed form, a call recording, anything like that. You've got to make sure you're hitting these 5 bullet points. Same thing with client review. Now, the big difference here is once you have consent, you get to define how long consent is good for, but generally, if you've defined it in perpetuity, consent will be good until it expires or revokes. Client review is a little different. You want to make sure you're documenting client review every single time you're submitting an application on Health Sherpa or any other ED platform or healthcare.gov. Anytime you're submitting the application, you need to document client review and typically document, why you're submitting it. Wouldn't be a bad idea, like income change, adding a newborn, things along those lines. So, and again, those have to have these 4 bullet points covered. The consumer has to take an action to produce the documentation, and you've got to store it for the required 10 years. All right, renewals here. Renewals on Health Sherpa, active renewals only take about 4 minutes. So, in the ACA, of course, you've got your active renewals that are ones that you're actually resubmitting the application. Maybe you're changing household information, maybe you're changing the plan, but for whatever reason, you're resubmitting the application. Those active renewals, when you use the renewal flows on Health Sherpa, only take about 4 minutes, even if you're making changes, because you're able to port everything from the 2024 plan year over to the 2025 plan year and just update what you need to update and then shop for a new plan, confirm, and submit. One important thing is, in order to use these renewal pathways, the client's application has to be in your Health Sherpa account. So you can search the marketplace. Oftentimes, because the passive renewals have already been queued up by CMS, you're going to find an existing 2025 app that's already been created. So if in that scenario, you want to take that 2025 app and just work off that 2025 app. And then you'll go ahead and, make any updates to the app, confirm the plan choice, and get that submitted. If they're already in your account, you can just see right here, we've got 2 options, the renew plan button up top. There's a slight difference here. If you click renew plan up top, you're going to go into the application first, make some updates, whatever you need to, and choose a plan after, and then confirm and submit. If you're going on to this renew button down on the plan card, maybe you've already talked to the client and they're like, no, nothing has changed. I just need a different plan. That's going to allow you to go in, choose the plan first based on all of their application from the prior year, and then you can update the application. It'll just give you a summary and you can breeze through it. and confirm, review, and submit that plan option. This renewals view does come with a big disclaimer that we're still trying to get it pushed through for CMS approval. We're hoping that it's out next week. But essentially the goal here, this will be on your client page, and I think I actually have it here in our staging environment. You've got your client dashboard, all clients, at-risk AOR, documents due. We're going to skip over to renewals. And the goal here is to give you insights into what should be a priority for you to actively renew. These are renewals that may be at risk of A, not renewing, B, losing their subsidy, or C, experiencing a significant plan or carrier crosswalk event. So if you have crosswalking events, that's if a plan leaving a market isn't too bad because they're going to get rolled over to the carrier's other plan that they're replacing it with. Usually the same, it's going to be the same metal tier, same network type, lowest premium for that carrier. What you want to definitely watch for is these carrier changes. If a carrier's leaving a market, I don't know that there's many full state exits this year, but I know some carriers are pulling back in some counties. If that's happening, that client could potentially is likely going to get rolled over into the same metal tier, same network type, lowest premium plan with whatever carrier that happens to be in the given market. So you want to make sure, A, does that plan work for my client? It's probably going to completely change the network. The pricing probably is going to be similar because they're going with the lowest cost, but you also want to make sure, am I appointed with that carrier? Am I going to get paid if I let that passively renew? So these are all high priority clients that you want to focus on getting in touch with and actively renewing, especially if they're going to, not renew or lose their tax credit and just renew, but without a tax credit at full price. So keep an eye out on the Health Sherpa newsletter. This should be released pretty quickly here as well. All right, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Okay, Georgia Access. Georgia Access is going to be the first state-based marketplace to have a full EDE integration experience. So for context, Georgia has been working on transitioning to a state-based marketplace, I want to say since late in 2019, maybe early 2020. So they're going on about, close to 5 years now on this transition. When they first started, they actually tried to transition without having a state-based exchange at all and just pointing people to EDEs because they know that's who controls the market and the demand is agents and brokers that are using EDEs to get people enrolled. CMS didn't like that idea and said, no, you have to build an exchange. That's why it was delayed previously, but they are all greenlit. They're good to go. Everything is fully integrated. We've been working with their tech teams for the last 2 years to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible. We're really excited about this because you now have access to a state-based exchange as well as all of the FFM states through Health Sherpa, and B, this is kind of the step one in getting access into additional state-based exchanges, like the Pennies and New Jerseys and Colorado's, places like that. And the way Georgia has built their marketplace and their EDE integration, you're going to have the same exact features and workflows for Georgia as it has for other states. Really, the key difference is going to be where you would see CMS or healthcare.gov or FFM, you're going to see Georgia or Georgia Access branding. Outside of that, there's not too many differences in the state of Georgia. I would say, with the exception of having to do a state-based certification. If you're planning on selling in Georgia this year, hopefully you've done that already, or if you have existing Georgia clients, that was due 10/18. You can still complete it. You just won't necessarily be ready by 11/1. And if you have existing clients, there may be issues porting those clients over from the FFM to your Georgia Access account. So you may have to go and claim them from your Georgia Access account. Really, outside of certification, that's the only additional piece in Georgia. If you only sell in Georgia, you won't be FFM integrated, so you will have to set up two-factor authentication. But I think most folks on here are selling in FFM states. Now we'll get into some additional training and support. So we have a ton of on-demand training resources. We've got our What's New and Getting Started. These are basically curated collections of help articles, videos that are here to bring you up to date on what I just brought you up to date on, all of the regulatory and product enhancements over the past year or so. And then Getting Started is great for new agents. You know, it's got Health Sherpa 101, how to quote, enroll, and apply, things along those lines. And then all of our agent trainings are all of our public-facing webinars. We've got on-demand recordings. Pretty much all of them are from this month. A couple are from September as well. So we've got a ton of materials on that. And then our help center is, you can find it at just faq.healthsherpa.com or this help center button in your Health Sherpa account. But this is a searchable help database for articles. We do have 2 upcoming live training sessions. Number 1 is the Enrollee Assistance Program. This is the essentially new version of the Health Sherpa referral program. We just announced this morning. I'm going to say, if you have any questions, please attend this webinar, as I have not had time to read about the Enrollee Assistance Program in full detail yet. So this webinar is actually today at 3 Eastern. Then we also have a second consumer Resume Link training Thursday at 2 Eastern, 1 Central Time. You can click these links, register for these webinars. You'll also be getting emails as well if you have a Health Sherpa account. Then we have all of these kind of standard ongoing webinars that we've spun up over the past few months here. The Health Sherpa 101 in English and Spanish, I think we'll have a few more actually during OEP if you're new to the business and still need to get brought up to speed. Some of the Q&A time in these live webinars is really useful, or you can just watch everything on demand. Health Sherpa also has an agent support team. They're here to help with platform-specific questions about applications, questions about your Health Sherpa account or agency accounts. They can be contacted from 8 to 6 Central Standard Time. Phone and email are available. I almost always use the chat because it takes them less than 1 minute to respond via chat. And pretty much all issues can be taken care of from that chat, unless, of course, you can't get into your account. Then you probably want to call or email. We do extend those hours for a Health Sherpa agent support team, specifically on 12/14, 12/15, 1/14, 1/15. Here's your OEP readiness checklist guide. Obviously, complete FFM certification and Georgia Access. If you're selling in Georgia, that's probably already done for most people. you want to talk to Agility, get appointed with any carriers that you want to offer. Hopefully that's done as well. If not, contact the producer support team at Agility. You want to create a login. If you don't have a Health Sherpa account today, you can simply go to healthsherpa.com and click sign up. You just need an NPN and an FFM username, unless you're just selling in Georgia. You want to enable enhanced direct enrollment. This is actually what clients go through when they use the consumer resume link. You need to do a one-time agent ID proofing to answer multiple choice questions about your personal credit history. You're going to update your carrier settings, basically tell Health Sherpa where you're licensed, who you're appointed with, to make sure your NPN is applied on those applications. Register for any trainings, watch them on demand. You want to be sure to link into Agility's hierarchy. Now, this is something you could talk to Agility producer support about, depending on where you fall in the contracting hierarchy. You may link directly. You may be under a different agency. So make sure you're linked in there so that they can help with compliance issues. You're eligible for potential bonuses that they're offering, things along those lines.
I'm going to jump in here, Ross. Make sure you use the B4FD code. I'm going to put that in the Q&A, B4FD, to connect your Sherpa with Agility. We also have a lot of cool data stuff we're doing back and forth with one another. It is a good partnership. It's an awesome partnership. It's a genuine partnership, and make sure you're plugged into it.
B4FD. And that's actually all I had on my end, Jesse. So want to again thank Agility for the opportunity to chat with you all. And you know, if we have time, address any questions that you may have.
Yeah, there's a lot around the resume link, as you can imagine. Is there a source of truth folks can go to like an FAQ around the resume link that folks can go to?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple FAQs. They're linked in this deck that I'll send out. But if you just go to the FAQ site, again, it's under this question mark. You can click Help Center, or just go to faq.healthsherpa.com and search resume link. We've got the consumer's experience when using a resume link. We've got CMS system changes and invalid action error. This kind of explains what the error is and when you're going to encounter it. But this is the actual consumer experience, the email they're going to receive, what the subject line is of that, what they're going to look like. We've got more context around, you know, all of the things that are required here, verifying identity, setting their email and password. Then they're going to hit this finalize page and go through the agreements and tax attestation, submit the plan. So awesome. I think from what I've been hearing, you know, the biggest thing right now is making sure that they're entering this information exactly as it appears on the application for the primary applicant, and then getting through the consumer ID proofing. So I'd definitely recommend, if you're using this link, stay on the phone, have this up in front of you, say, okay, you should see something that says sign in or create an account. Click create an account, something like that, and just holding their hand and walking them through it like they're your elderly parent trying to enroll in whatever.
I love it. In terms of renewals, when will the renewal tab go live in Sherpa?
So the renewal tab itself is actually a level 2 change request. So we're waiting on CMS approval.
Okay.
We're hearing that it's potentially next week. We're probably going to have an agency level export so that an agency can pull that and kind of triage clients for their agents.
Okay, awesome.
Available possibly Friday, if not first thing next week.
All right, cool. That's actually an interesting question. Is there a standard workflow for directing agents to complete enrollments for carriers not on Sherpa, or does it vary? Oh, I think at this point you just send them to the like, so for an Oscar example, they'd have to go to Oscar and enroll direct on Oscar to answer that question directly.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've got I think they're the only one this year, but if a carrier is not participating in the Health Sherpa marketplace, you'll just see a thing that's enrollment is not available. I think it says go to healthcare.gov or contact the carrier.
Yeah, I
You
think
probably,
that's it. Yeah.
yeah.
And then some SSN questions. I think those probably go to FAQ as well. Hey, we've had a marathon here. Guys, we're 4 hours and 11 minutes into this thing. I want to thank everybody who joined the call. Ross, thanks for closing us out. Oh, go ahead.
I just see one question I really want to address. Edward asks, for Georgia, Health Sherpa will provide a tool to redirect to Georgia Access. No, not at all. Georgia is fully 100% integrated with Health Sherpa. You should never need to leave Health Sherpa. Basically, you go set up your Georgia Access account. You shouldn't really have to go on Georgia Access again for the rest of OEP unless you want to check stuff. You should be able to do 100% of everything right on Health Sherpa. We've got a full API integration with Georgia.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. All right.
But it doesn't go live until 11/1 when you can actually enroll people.
Well, hey, everybody. Go kick some butt Friday. This is your time to go crush it.